Oh, I missed a message from Phoenix Pounda.
I'm
Hello, so
sorry.
nice to meet you.
Phoenix Pounda?
Yeah, or Poundza.
Pounds.
I'm just gonna block him because I know it's bullshit.
Bullshit. All right.
Chat, can you see and hear us?
We're good? Oh yeah, I guess
Wait-
we should do sound test.
Waiting for folks to confirm. Sorry,
Maybe.
hold on a second here. I want to get a message out in Discord. Just gotta navigate this shit better. I should be better at this.
All right. My indications say we're live.
Good for you.
Maybe see if they can get a little audio first of the gameplay. They'll probably have it. I trust you have it all set up correct.
It should
Guess
be.
we could just go, right?
1 second.
Let me play some audio, I guess.
Spoilers.
Hear that?
Good.
I hear it.
All right, well,
Okay, well, they're
start from the
getting it too.
beginning.
Yeah.
All right.
Just let me know when you want to go.
We're going.
Oh, no, Brad, just hold your fucking horses. Hold
Oh.
on a second.
What's he doing?
I've said it like 3 times. Give me a second. I'm posting a message in Discord. I would like to be ready to talk about stuff and watch when we get there.
Gotcha.
Where the fuck is it? Don't let me stop you from talking to the people, though. You know that's.
Hi, Attack.
No one had said anything. Tack literally just said hi, and King Carry just said, "Aw, shit."
Hello.
Oh.
So calm down, Nick. I've been watching.
Nick's got some deep thoughts on Silk Song. He's about to lay it on y'all.
All right, here we go. Okay, I'm back in the chat. The message is posted. What is up, Tack? What is up, King Carry? And I'm ready. Let's. Don't forget to loop the trailers.
It is looped.
The loop.
Beautiful. Then let's fucking go.
Going.
You know, I don't know if you. I
What's
don't
up,
even
Nick?
remember the last time I actually watched a trailer for a Silk Song.
It was probably when this trailer came out.
Probably when when did this trailer come out? I feel like the last time I actually watched this game in motion, it was still DLC.
That's not true. Not even close to true. This is was an Xbox showcase that you watched and commentated on.
Oh,
2 years ago.
that's
2 years ago.
This is the one where they said it'll be out within a year.
I don't think they
it
ever
was around
stipulated
that
that.
They said within 12 months, everything you see on stage today will be out.
Yeah,
They said
did
a lot
say
of
that.
things.
I don't remember if it was when they showed the trailer, but this was shown at an Xbox showcase.
Actually, they
It's-
opened with this, and then they did that statement. That's what happened.
Well,
But that still means everything you saw. It doesn't mean like everything you saw before.
No, they said everything you're about to see. That's the
I do remember this was supposedly part of that 12 months. And let me tell you, it's been a lot longer than 12 months. Man.
Well, what's the over/under? What do you think? You think this will still come out this year? 'Cause
I
I'm certain
mean-
it's faded.
Probably, I think so.
I don't understand why. I mean, it's a meme, right? Obviously, I don't see why it has to like not come out this year just because it's a meme. I feel like it still makes sense that it comes out this year. The only problem is that it wasn't at in the Xbox showcase, right?
They missed like the big like preview season, you know, preceding
Yeah,
the fall
and
and the winter.
again, this game of all indie games, this absolutely does not need that
No,
season.
but also
so
I'm trying to
this
think
could
of
just be like Shadow Draft. It could just be like, hey, we're coming out next
what
week.
is the
and
right time. What is the right time to release this now? Is what is because like
literally anytime. There's not a game. Now that the Elden Ring DLC's out, there's not a game on the planet that's
Yeah.
going to stop people from buying and playing this.
Agreed.
It's just a big deal game. Like even the Hades 2 fucking release would not have stopped people from picking this up.
That's probably true.
There's not much of a bigger deal in indies than this one.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
I would
like,
also
the middle of the
argue like
heat.
AAA as well.
It could come out anytime, yeah. like it doesn't matter what AAA game's coming out. Save maybe that new Zelda game. Once this comes out, will be what everybody's talking about and playing
For sure.
All right, we could probably go to the
Play
next
it
one.
day one
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Game Pass.
Now there was a game recently that like I think backed out of a Game Pass deal. Like somewhat high profile indie game. I can't recall exactly what it is, but
Maybe somebody in chat knows.
I don't.
So I watched this the other day. This could go either way, honestly, but like
Oh, this is good. Nick.
A Quiet Place seems like such a cool universe to like be able to interact with, like mechanically speaking, that I'm super excited for this.
It sure seems like they're talking a lot, though. I gotta be honest with you.
I mean, this is pre.
This is a loud place, bro.
Is this game like out? I mean, was this ready to go for movie release?
It's supposed to come out this
No.
year. They have no. I did watch this movie on Friday, the new one on Friday, by the way.
Is this like what kind of game? I mean, is this?
This
Is
is
this like a
this is
mobile
giving
game? What are we
this is
looking
no, dude. This is giving me serious Alien Isolation or Amnesia the Bunker vibes, but you know,
The developer?
it's a Saber Interactive.
Uh-oh. I mean,
Yeah, well, right. So like
who knows?
who knows? It could go either way. Who knows? Honestly, like, it's actually kind of for me. It's kind of leaning towards like Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners looking, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
to,
sure.
Do the people in this universe like just try to travel around as best they can with like a can of WD-40?
I mean, I would think so, right?
That'd be smart.
But like this game just shouldn't have a soundtrack. There should be no soundtrack in this game. It should be pure silence.
Well, the good news
or-
is the lower
or
the budget, the
insanity.
less likely you're going to have much of a soundscape. Anyway.
Well, I mean, like the movies don't really have soundtracks either. I mean, I'm just like I feel like that would be kind of like the first thing I look for to determine whether like are they onto something here? It's like if we get gameplay of this and it's like there's any kind of like background music playing, I'm immediately going to be skeptical.
We can move on. But speaking of Saber Interactive, Space Marine 2, they were going to do like a big public beta,
A
right?
beta,
But
and they
canceled that.
Yeah.
Is that good news or bad news? I feel like
I've
we're
not seen this.
I mean,
Is
they
this-
basically said they're canceling their beta so they
This
can
is an
focus
indie
on.
But that looked nice, so I added it.
It's very like they're trying to give like
Oh, this is the Kiki's game. Yeah.
delivery service.
Very
Yeah.
happy time.
There was a demo
Yeah,
of Steam
3D
Next Fest for
platformer.
this.
Oh, was there? What did people
Yeah.
respond?
Yeah, how did people say? Like I didn't even know there was a demo.
I think people were pretty well, this was a demo from like either earlier this year or late last year. But people were positive. Like the whole idea is that you're a witch in training and you go around this entire island just doing deliveries and chores for people.
Kiki's Wind Waker service.
Basically, yeah.
I mean, it looks adorable. Oh, it's a cat. Ooh, it sleeps with you. Okay. Look at this. It's adorable.
Yeah, I don't know. Looks nice. Hat in
sure.
time. You know, there's been a lot of indie kind of 3D platformers that have been looking good lately, and you know, from what more or less they've been coming out and being okay.
Hey, you know what? Flying around in a broom in Hogwarts Legacy was fun. Maybe they can just speed it up a little bit.
Yeah.
This could be cool.
I mean, so the whole loop is supposed to be like your mentor is at the top of the mountain on the island. She kicks you off so you can go learn to fly on your own down there. And as you complete chores and stuff and objectives, you get more powerful so you can fly further up. And the whole goal is to get back to the top of the mountain.
It looks like like it's taking heavy inspiration from Miyazaki
yeah.
for sure.
For sure.
I mean, Mika in the Witch's Mountain, August 21st. Shit, that's coming out
Okay.
soon.
Good.
Mika and the Witch's Teat.
I see everybody like, oh yeah, coming out.
It looks
soon.
cool. You know, there was a game that looked pretty cool. It's from the Moonlighter devs called Cataclysmo, and like I know Pioche really liked the demo. Anyways, they didn't announce that it was coming out in early access. They just announced it was coming out like this month, and they finally just recently confirmed it was actually early access. And I don't like when indie devs hide that. Just tell us the fucking truth.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Sorry, what's this game called? Mika and the Mountain.
Oh, we
right?
can skip this. We can skip.
Witch's Mountain.
Not every trailer requires looping.
Mika
But,
and
I
the
mean,
Witch's Mountain.
Yeah.
weaken the witch's
You'll
net.
have to vibe that one.
Well, Valby can be a
This
deadly
game came
tsunami
out,
to her foes. She is
doing
as
pretty
gentle as the
well.
morning
Oh, is this that
tide to
first
her beloved
Descendant or
friends.
whatever?
Yeah.
Water
uh,
playtime!
I can't remember if we have shown this before, but I watched this and I was
Never
like,
seen
this
this
is
in
pretty
motion.
cool.
Creating waterway that turns
It's a
enemies
looter
into
shooter
mere
with,
laundry.
Yeah.
you know,
She can also
made
create
by,
big puddles, then jump out of her
Like,
desired
it's not
location
exactly
and
a
deal damage to
hero
enemies.
aspect to it, but you do have
Try
like
not to get wet.
character-specific abilities.
With
Like
Valby's ability to
Hershey is all
manipulate
about water and
She can also shoot bubble
Yeah.
bullets
when I first saw
into
this, I was like,
puddles.
is this like a Genshin Impact with guns?
God damn it, no.
But I think it's
Valby's
just like
weapon
more
can
like
also
a.
become the unique
Someone
laundry
is
Are
a
you
round.
booing
Sanji
me?
and
I'm right.
One
in
blast
Discord
of this
compared
water
it more to, like,
drop, and victory is
Warframe.
in her hands.
It looks very Warframey.
It's just,
Yeah,
just a
Your
looter
AP
shooter.
will
I definitely
drop
think there's some
massively when
inspiration
using
there.
skills standing on
I
water.
have heard that there are some character
Smooth like
skins that are
butter.
way skimpier than anything in Stellar Blade.
Ah.
Yeah,
Tell me
I'm not
more.
surprised. Oh, Nexon Games. Yeah, so it's a Korean developed game. You know,
Hey, but
that's
we're-
sort of
we're-
par for the
those
course
lately.
for a lot of.
We're in the era of cool Korean games.
I wanted to post this again. I can't recall if we've had Monkey Ball on.
We did.
Didn't we have a
We have.
conversation? We had this conversation
seen
last
this.
week where I said I've never played a monkey ball game.
I can't remember where the conversation happened. It's so hard. It's like, was it the podcast? Was it on during Trader Joe? But this came out, and man, Monkey Ball is cool.
It's a pretty good
Monkey
game.
Balls. You did have a conversation about Monkey Ball. People were saying this one's pretty good. I just, if they were gonna make a good Monkey Ball game, is this a cinematic trailer? If they were gonna make a good Monkey Ball game, you gotta call it Super Monkey Ball 3. Come on, man. You gotta take the Band-Aid, rip the Band-Aid off. Years and years of Monkey Ball games that have like weird subtitles and
That haven't earned the
questionable quality, and if they finally made one that like people seem happy about, call it Monkey Ball 3. It gets people way more hype. Sometimes you got to play that card because it.
I mean, I would agree with that, but also like if you've gone like what? Is it 15 years since 20 years since Monkey Ball 2? Like, if you're gonna do that, like you gotta be substantial with what you're doing with the game.
It's got to
Yeah, but that's what I'm
feel-
saying. I'm saying this. What I'm hearing is this
Banana
one's
Rumble.
pretty like dope. Like it's they
Available now.
refined mechanics. I
I
mean,
heard
I
that
don't know.
it's bananas.
Monkey Ball. I don't know. When I played Monkey Ball on the GameCube, and we could skip it or whatever, it's like it felt like this is you get Smash Brothers. You get like if you have friends, right? It's like
How dare you?
like Monkey Ball was up there with Smash Brothers as like
Oh,
the
no,
game
it
to
early
have,
on for
right?
Sure. Yes,
Like,
it
it
was
was-
a really good couch co-op game, or not co-op, but a
Yeah.
couch game. Yeah, versus.
Yeah, like, and now it's just now it seems so like like a C tier series almost, and I don't like it. Anyway, skip this shit. I think I'm gonna play this.
You're
and
the
play
one that
this
kept
with my
talking about
children.
it.
That's true. He's just doing what you told him to do. Well, actually, I told him, but
No,
He's
I'm
never
yeah,
gonna stop.
me saying skip
talking
this
about
shit
it.
was just a cool way to say on to the next video, dude. You want me to
we've
be
seen
less
this one.
cool?
right.
This
I
is
don't know if
Neva.
This particular trailer,
Neva.
but We've never
I
seen
wanted
it?
to. Maybe not in recent weeks, but
I mean, it's a nice refresher. 'cause
this
game-
was, I think, at the Xbox or one of these showcases. Honestly, I don't know if we had it for trailer talk, but I wanted to throw it on here because Ed picked this up for Fantasy Critic
He
this
did.
week.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the one that he only bid $1. I just assumed people were going to outbid me. Now that people know how much money I have, so this was the game that I had bid on when I accidentally picked up Dragon Age when I didn't want Dragon Age. I just didn't reorder the priorities. So it showed, the bot said that I failed to pick this up because I didn't have a slot open for it. So when it popped back up the following week or whatever as a bid, I was like, oh, well, someone's just gonna bid like $3 and just get it from me. But he only bid $1. Maybe he like changed his mind because I mean they still don't have a solid release date. It's still 2024. But it was playable at SGF from what I understand. And
My only question about this game is, God damn it, keep.
oh, his headphones
well,
cut
he has a
out.
question. He can still talk even if
He
he
can
can't
still,
hear himself.
I mean, yeah, but he can't hear us. But I just,
What is your
I don't know,
question?
it just seems like his headphones are never gonna work.
Oh yeah, it's true. Maybe he needs to grease him up a little. Nick, say your question. Oh no, he's gone.
If
When they
the
die, he
question
actually has
is
to leave
whether
the
the dog they're going to kill the dog in the game, I have a feeling that that's the answer. Yes.
Why would you say that?
I'm pretty sure that's never gonna happen.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Nick?
Can't hear you, Nick, if you're talking.
We can never.
Sorry,
never.
I said Nolan. You gotta stop the. You've reached the limit of
That's
that
like my
joke.
7th one.
He's never
no.
gonna stop, Nick. He's never gonna stop.
No, the question I was gonna ask was, this game looks beautiful, and I think it's gonna be a cool story, but like,
Yeah.
how
Was it good enough for Journey?
how mechanically interesting is this gonna be?
Mechanically interesting. I mean,
How
Jeff
mechanically
Keighley said
interesting
he
was
loved
Grease?
the combat at the game show thing that he does.
Jeff
I
Keighley
didn't
says
play
a lot of
Grease.
things.
You didn't play Grease?
did
Well,
not play
Grease didn't have combat really. This one does, but yeah, it's like a beautiful visual like story thing first and foremost. But like, look, man. Look, if Limbo can fucking kill it, I don't see why this can't, because this seems gorgeous and
so many games
potent.
have so many games have tried to recapture kind of the magic of something like Limbo,
Yeah.
and that are really good, but like
Yeah.
they still don't leave like a mark. You know what I mean? Like,
well, you say that, but like if you pull up like
Planet
people-
of Lana. Like Planet of Lana
Yeah,
was really good, but like it's not.
Yeah,
I don't know. It
I know what
doesn't
you're saying.
have-
I know what
it's
you're
missing
saying.
something.
There's a lot of Limbo likes that don't have impact. But what I'm saying is Grease did. People
did.
adore Grease.
Yes.
It was very successful, and it's overwhelmingly positive on Steam right
It's
now.
pronounced
It's
Grease?
60 Grease.
Gris.
From what I
I
understand,
always
it's
said
Grease.
Gris.
I'm not trying. I'm not even trying to.
No. Just listen. I didn't finish my sentence. 62,000 reviews, overwhelmingly positive. Like it is 96% positive. And I've heard people. I see people in the comments for this and shit. People adore that fucking game, and that's why. And people are very excited about this game because that game was so successful and was so loved. And the way people talk about it is love, almost kind of like they do about Journey, which is also a game that is more of a visual thing, a story thing, an emotional thing. And so I think this.
I mean, I'm not trying to like.
primed to kill it. Honestly,
I'm not trying to,
I'm
like-
mad I didn't bid on it.
I'm not trying to like say I think it's gonna be bad or anything. It's just more of a. It's a genuine question because I feel like there's been so many games that have tried and maybe not quite gone far enough to like really leave a legacy. You know what I like?
Yeah, I know. Not a
But now I
lot. Not a
feel like
lot
maybe
of
I
them
should-
do, but
maybe
I'm
I
saying
should
I
play
think
Gris.
that one did.
Grease.
Yeah.
Gris.
I think it's about depression. Anyways,
Moving on.
roll the next tape, motherfucker.
Ooh, Okay, is this game not just a re-release of the original game?
No, this
to
is
talk
this
about
is
it.
a
Look like
remake on the same scale of Metroid Prime Remastered.
Okay,
I mean, that was also a remake of a legendarily loved game.
You mentioned something about research.
This
I
is-
mean, I
been
still
s-
find that kind of a silly thing just because like.
Remember that name, because the whole world's gonna know it
I
in
don't
3
know.
days.
I don't know. I was hoping you were about to finish that sentence by saying this is a remake on the scale of like Resident Evil 2 or something.
Oh,
I mean,
you
no,
can't,
it's-
though, right?
It didn't
No,
say
it-
remake, it
it's
says remaster.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
remastered.
like it's
But a
No,
deluxe remaster.
So let me explain. So what they've done is they've
explain later
ported
tonight.
over all the main mechanics, improved, added quality of life, and upgraded the visuals, and moved everything onto the current RE engine.
okay. So it's really just it's making this game the best it can be.
Frank West.
Pretty much.
You seem to be really
Remember that name,
anticipating
'cause the
this
whole
game now
world's
that
gonna know it in 3
I think
days.
about it, Chris Davis.
Yes, I am.
All right,
We
let's
might
move on
even
then.
bring it up tonight.
In the interest
Well, I
of
said
not-
we're doing. Maybe I should have put it on.
Next.
Yeah, this one was a really short trailer. But yeah,
Yeah.
we'll hear more about it tonight.
Wake up, sleeper.
Let's watch it one more time. Okay. Oh yeah, Citizen Sleeper 2. I forgot.
Yeah, I don't think this is coming out till next year, but it is the first game I love the first game, and
I remember.
I'm very excited.
So what's
Pokemon.
the is this what's the consensus here? Is this looking like it's kind of like more of the same, or is it like does this look
So
significantly
like if you glance at the trailer, it looks like
Not for a moment.
another Citizen Sleeper game. I mean, like they're doing similar things with the UI, like they have their dice look, their weird dice look stuff. But from interviews and stuff, it sounds like maybe they're doing some more ambitious stuff, like structurally, storytelling wise. But it is very much Citizen Sleeper looking. But you know, this is a game that is all about characters and relationships, and the writing and stuff it's good. So I can't wait to get more of that. You know,
I mean, it looks good.
it is a very good game, and it might look very wordy, but like the way it's sort of paced out, where everything is structured. You know, you talked a little bit about it on the podcast before. But I mostly played this. I mean, I played it in I don't know.
Words, use your words.
Well, this was something that I was playing when I was sort of like trying to wrap up for game award season, like our videos and stuff.
Right.
And I was playing most of this after I recorded my video, so I didn't have that outlet to kind of like lavish praise upon it because I had already done my game of the year, my top 10 video. But this, I think this would have been my number 3 that year.
Damn.
Yeah, after Elden Ring and Tunic, Tunic is another one that I finished playing after I recorded that video. So it didn't officially make that video, but yeah, I really like this. Anyways, you can, bitch, why you looping?
I swear to God, I will boot you for the fucking call.
Chastising him for looping like that.
Oh, I don't know. What's the signal? What's the signal?
The signal
is stop fucking talking about the game, and I'll move on.
So let's talk, crew.
That's the signal.
Yeah, I know, but we can't just we gotta talk about something.
Well, then stop talking about the previous game.
I actually love the idea of the signal being call Chris Davis a bitch for looping. And that's what.
Oh no, we could just we all just pause and get quiet for 5 seconds, and then we go, I wonder what this next game is gonna be. And that'll be the signal.
Transition. Yes, please.
Okay. Natural.
Let's try it. Let's try it with this one. Let's try it with this one. Okay.
Natural.
This is Life is Strange, double exposure. Hey, this is really
how
cool.
do you?
Is
this
not,
comes out this year?
Yeah,
yes.
Is this not episodic now? Is this? Or, I guess
It
it's
is
public
episodic,
trust.
I think.
But it's all in one package. Like they're not selling the episodes individually, or are they?
I don't think
I don't think
we
they're
have a
selling
model
them.
here.
I think you.
dead.
I think you can get early access to the first episode, but once everything comes out on the release date, everything's out.
Still hear
Yeah.
voice.
So like, because True Colors was like just you buy the game, you play the story, and it's just organized into episodic chapters.
This is not like that. I think this has actual episodes.
Into a parallel timeline.
Because there's definitely some stuff where they're selling
Something is still
episode
alive.
1, but you can get 2.
Danger
Like
stalks
1 and 2 come out at the same time. I don't know. Read up on
Only
it. Let's
I
talk about
can
the
investigate
story.
both realities.
But hey,
Um,
this is pretty cool.
Are y'all? This is the first time that they're
It's the
really
same as
kind of
this
going
one,
back to
except
characters and
you're
storylines, and obviously that original Life is Strange is,
dead.
in my opinion, a very
I
self-contained
can
story.
still save Sophie.
Is anybody else a little worried that this shit's gonna get
I
kind
can
of
solve
messy?
and prevent
Hey, look.
Multiverses.
the
You know, I just
murder
finished Rebirth, by the way, and let me
two
tell you, it
timelines.
can get messy.
Look. I think that.
You're excited about
Well,
the next video?
Well, no. The shut up. No.
No, I'm kidding.
I
I'm
think-
kidding.
Product
I
not
was
What are you
kidding.
doing? I wasn't done.
I was kidding.
It was a natural transition. I went for it, fuckers.
That wasn't natural. That's fine. Fuck Life is Strange. This game looks sick.
I don't have it. I guess I'm not gonna have any thoughts on Life is Strange. This
Yeah.
game does
You
look
might
pretty
have
cool.
something to talk about tonight.
Maybe I will. This game looks
Oh,
pretty
yeah,
cool,
that's
right?
right.
Rule 34.
This I think we said the same thing. This was at the Xbox showcase, so we have commentated on it before, but it wasn't
I've not seen
definitely
this.
wasn't in
What is
trailers
this?
or that kind of thing.
This is it's like an
Oh,
RPG.
just wait. I want to see Nolan's live reaction to this.
No, I have seen this one.
Oh, okay, damn it.
We've
Well,
talked about this one before, right?
You weren't you commentating the press conference with us?
Oh, you were there for Xbox?
Was I on the Xbox one? I know I missed a couple.
I've lost track of all
I
that.
joined late. That's right. I kind of hopped in the middle of it.
This dude definitely looks like Robert Pattinson.
For sure.
This is the trailer that's like, oh, I'm not really paying attention. What is this bullshit? And then they show some gameplay, and I'm like, okay, maybe I'm interested in this.
Yeah, this does look pretty stellar.
And you're like, oh, actually, this looks kind of pretty. And then they show some combat, and you're like, oh, okay. Who's this developer? I love that. I love that roller coaster of emotions,
and
of cynicism, and
this world that they've created here looks kind of wild, man. Like I'm into it. I think combat looks really cool with a really neat like dynamic UI system, but like also I want to know what's going on in this world.
Oh yeah,
It's just funny. It's like I guess they're trying to go for like some Persona stuff with like the UI, but then it's just Mario RPG like button timing. But that's a good mix. Fuck it. Wait, that's just an Elden Ring DLC boss. Wait a minute.
It reminds me of Lies of P, like the aesthetic.
Yeah,
this is
actually, it's funny. I heard somebody else make that exact comparison, but like in the sense of like this is I'm as excited for this as Lies of P because it looks very like it's hitting all the same notes, and that's cool.
Some
People
French
love Lies of
dev.
P.
Do we know much about this French developer?
No, of course not.
Kepler?
We did,
That's
but
cool.
they had
Sandfall Interactive.
Are you sure it's not Kepler?
Peggy 12.
I'm pretty sure this is their first game.
Oh, yeah. Goat Simulator 3, Multiverse of Nonsense. Woo! This is one for Henry, his most anticipated. This is Henry's most anticipated release of the year.
It's
Are
'cause
you
they gave
are
them
you
the-
secretly
it's-
also
it's-
excited though?
No, I don't play
I
this
mean,
shit.
I'm sure it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I mean, like, they're crazy sandboxes.
Yeah.
The problem is it's summertime and he's just a bad kid, Like when he's in school, he's like, oh, look how I got some good grades, or I did awesome in school, And we're like, okay, well maybe
Wait, is this
we'll get you
open
this
world?
DLC. But it's summertime and he's sitting around the house a lot of the day and he's just not doing anything productive. I mean, he reads some books, which is good.
Okay,
He's
we're
kinda
here to talk
getting there.
about Goat Simulator, not
This looks
no, we're-
insane.
parenting 101.
What I'm saying is, I don't know how to reward him. I don't want to just buy him the DLC. He has to earn it. But let me tell you, this motherfucker's not been earning it lately. What do I do?
Well then,
You're asking
know.
the wrong person. Hey, I have a serious question.
I did tell you that my Father's Day card where he said, I
Yes.
love you because you showed me the trailer for Goat Simulator 3 DLC.
Okay, real quick, serious question.
Mm-hmm.
Is this game open world?
It seems pretty open.
Yeah, it's an open.
Sure.
It's like they took Grand Theft Auto 3. Like, oh, I heard you like to fuck around in Grand Theft Auto 3. We're gonna make a game, but you're a goat and you're fucking around. Yeah.
Cool.
they opened this trailer and I swear to God, they were doing like a battle royale thing.
It kind
Hey,
of that's what they're going
the
for,
next-
obviously.
They have lots of references. And
Yeah,
stuff.
it's full of references to shit, and obviously it was a reference to Fortnite.
They could also be like planning Goat Simulator 4 as a full-on battle royale. Fuck it.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
But Nick, don't you mean a battle royale?
Okay, all
something
right.
tells me it'll be a while.
That's the natural transition point.
Have a good one.
This is this one was at one of these Day of the Devs, whatever the fuck. And they also had a demo during Steam Next Fest, and I played it, and it was pretty cool. Obviously, for like an indie kind of
Is this like survival? Like a survival game?
like a Subnautica, like maybe
Oh, fuck.
I don't know, but I don't know. I was mostly kind of just exploring and platforming and getting resources and stuff, trying to get around.
Oh, fuck. This looks neat.
But it seemed cool. It seemed cool. I wanted to be like, hey, this seems cool because I played the demo and it seems polished, like
Dude, it's
nice.
beautiful.
I mean, it's gorgeous. I'm just curious as to what the gameplay loop is about.
It's like a survival game. Have you played Subnautica?
I mean, actually, I've not.
More like a story character driven. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't building anything like in.
I'm
Subnautica
gonna download the demo for that game right now.
necessarily, but- Yeah,
If it's
not-
available.
It's not like a super long demo, but you do get a sense. You get to
It gives me
explore,
with
opening
the art
area a
style.
little
It gives me Raft vibes.
which is also survival game.
It also
Okay.
like,
Yeah, I know it is exploring, looking for resources and stuff like that. Yeah,
the visual style gives me Rhyme vibes.
yeah, I can see Rhyme. Yeah,
But yeah,
interesting.
cool. I think this. Well, did this have a date on it?
It says 2024 on Steam.
Yeah. I'll be
All right.
interested. I'll be out looking at reviews when this comes out because I mean, the
All right,
demo's cool.
silence.
All right, we got one
Oh,
more.
we were trying.
I sensed
Oh.
the natural.
Again, can't remember if I've shown this.
I
think I'm just old, y'all.
Is that supposed to be legally distinct sans?
The grindstone.
From the creators of Grindstone and Might and Magic Clash of Heroes. At least Nolan knows what he's looking at here.
I do. That very
This
much
was-
looks like Might and Magic Class of Heroes.
Yeah, so they're making a dedicated multiplayer game, and they've kind of refined the multiplayer. It's still very much at its core looks like the Clash of Heroes gameplay,
Yeah.
but the developer said that they're aiming for like 5-minute matches. While multiplayer matches in Clash of Heroes can get very long because it really wasn't balanced around multiplayer. It was more just, hey, we could probably do a multiplayer mode because these mechanics are so cool. But they
So
they spent a lot of time kind of
I
working
was
on
only partially paying attention because I was looking up something on Steam. Is this completely multiplayer or Netflix? What the fuck is Netflix?
completely, unfortunately. Well, because
You can
this
play
is
it
also
on
coming to
Netflix.
mobile. It's coming to
I
Steam,
see.
Switch, mobile. But like, if it really is a pure multiplayer game, like it is, and trust me, I've asked. It makes sense that it would also come out for phones because
No,
they're
for
trying
sure,
to-
for sure. This game would do really well on a phone. It'd be very easy to play. It's just one of those things where I think you can still have. It's one of those things that. One of the things I liked about Might and Magic Clash of Heroes was there was a story and you were doing things or whatever. But being completely
Trust me,
multiplayer, I could see that kind of sucks because it's one of those things where when you're playing the game, you're fighting the AI, you're fighting the computer, you're a challenge. Whereas
They have
this, you're
puzzle
fighting another
challenges,
person.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, the thing is, Clash of Heroes is amazing, and this is kind of a bummer to me, especially because since it is multiplayer, it has to be successful to continue existing.
Oh, for sure.
basically.
That's true too. Because at any point in time, if it starts like shitting the bed, like it's okay, bye, it's gone now.
And like this actual like art style and presentation looks really cool. I would have loved a game, and like I don't think it necessarily had to have a single player campaign story thing, but like it makes sense that they could have made it like a roguelike or something, or even Grindstone was not a roguelike, but it was just a game where you're kind of going from battle to battle, and they had a lot of stages. It's just a bummer. Anyways, I wonder what's next.
I do wonder what's next. We probably have time
That might
for
be the
one more
last one.
trailer. What the fuck?
Why,
Oh.
why did the West
Leo-
Wing? What?
What
Oh,
the
okay.
fuck?
How did the West
I
Wing?
do
show
like the
up?
West Wing. I mean,
I don't know.
I'm down for some West Wing clips.
Okay.
I was like, oh
Well,
shit, are we
whatever.
watching the West Wing?
I think that was the last one. Oh god,
I-
there's porn tabs. You seem like you're freaking out a little bit. Okay.
I was just closing out the.
I mean, that's
browser
something
here.
that Nick reposted. So
And you were jerking off to West Wing clips, dude. I do it sometimes too. I don't blame
Dude, that
you.
was fucking hilarious.
1 second. Let's see. All right, and then we stop sharing.
I did say I think that was our last. video.
I suddenly want to rewatch. Well, not rewatch. I need to finish rewatching the West Wing. I'm somewhere in season 3. Robin's watching it, but but actual politics are too depressing to so now we just can't even watch fake politics.
you ain't wrong.
Oh my god.
It felt
I'm gonna
good
get a
during
refill
like
mango.
the Bush administration, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
no.
it's just kind of dire.
What are you talking about? Give up after season 6, man? I love all seasons of the West Wing.
Oh no, really?
Yeah. I was
I
hook,
mean,
line, and
not
sinker
you
on
don't
that show
you love
until
them
the final
all. You don't love
episode.
them like the same level of love, right?
I mean,
Definitely falls off.
when I watched the West Wing, I was watching like 4 or 5 episodes a day every day until it was over, all the way till the end.
But you
So-
already had so much love for Jimmy Smits because of
Wow.
Dexter.
Of course,
So
I
you're
had
like,
love
you know
for
what?
Jimmy
He
Smith.
could be my president. I'll be his vice president. We'll kill
What's
together.
wrong? Wait, what's wrong with Jimmy Smits?
Schmitz.
I mean, he's fine, I guess. But I'm saying you were probably like way more into Jimmy Smits because you're probably coming off of Dexter season 3. And
I'm always coming off of Dexter. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
He's always
gross.
coming.
coming while you're watching.
Stay
Dexter.
hydrated, Nick.
stay hydrated.
Yeah, we worry about you sometimes.
I'm rewatching it right now. In fact, I'm just coming off of season 3 with Jimmy Smith. Oh my
Are you
goodness.
you're hoping SMG ends up on that table? You excited?
I am excited, but I don't think she's going to end up on the table.
Why not? Come on.
I think, if anything, Patrick Dempsey's going to end up on the table. But let's not talk about Dexter. I need to get my water bottle, and then I'll be ready to start.
Are we doing a break this episode?
I don't think so, unless we're...
If we
end up
really are
going-
just doing a top 3, then I don't think it's necessary. But I feel like Nick, you're always trying to like squeeze some extra shit in, or were you planning on that this time, or is this going to be straight top 3?
I mean, I was just gonna do straight top 3. If we somehow finish the top 3 in like 30 minutes, then we can do other shit. But I don't. All I've been playing is Erd Tree.
Okay.
So.
Word tree.
Okay.
You know, I actually heard a discussion, a more like reasonable discussion. I was listening to an episode of the Besties, right? And they were talking about Erd Tree. And I heard something that actually had me kind of like bummed out about it for the first time. Because I know it's true. And I know that's going to be true when I play it. Because someone was saying that you go in and he had his powerful build from the main game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's all fine and dandy. But he said, and he was picking up as he was playing the DLC, like all this cool shit, cool, weapons with cool new ashes, new spells and stuff. And like, he would do respec and like, make sure, all the scaling was good. And it was just like, it just seemed not very powerful compared to like the shit that he already had, which, admittedly, I think was like the blasphemous blade or whatever. It sucks when you see all this cool shit and you level it up, you spend all these resources like leveling up those weapons because they seem so cool, and they're just at the end of the day, man, you got to get it done. And that cool new shit can look cool, but if you're just falling back on like the same bullshit that got you through the base game, then that's kind of a bummer for me. I want the cool new shit to be powerful.
There is powerful. Like I got a really, really, really cool new weapon that I rolled with for a little while the other day, and it was really powerful. I switched back to what I had before, but not because it was that new weapon was less powerful. It was because it would have required me to like suddenly master an entirely different style of playing.
Well,
and I was like I have been nothing. Yeah. I have been sword and shield since day one, and suddenly I was using a weapon that you basically have to dual wield just because they're double swords.
Yeah.
But
like I'm saying, you probably wouldn't have been able to like. It looked. What I'm saying is, and I think I know those swords.
No, it was very, very powerful. Except I couldn't stay alive long enough because I just wasn't used to surviving. I wasn't used to not being able to just put my shield up and take hits. You know what I mean? Like,
I guess that's kind of what I was getting at here.
I was about to go fight the like one of the hardest bosses in the DLC. And I was like, "There's no way I'm going to survive this fight."
I hate to break it to you, it ain't powerful if you ain't living.
Hey, how about we record a podcast?
Yeah,
I think that's
9 o'clock.
Actually wrong, Brad. I think that's factually wrong. It was doing more damage per hit than the weapon that I've been rolling with for the longest time.
I mean, like the blasphemous blade is not amazing just because it does a lot of damage. It has all these other like properties that make it like extremely powerful. The fact that you get health back and it hits a wide area and has range and it does fire damage. Yeah, it's just, the build that you use that can use it is still really tanky.
What are you talking about?
From Elden Ring. Saying that happened a lot in Elden Ring, where I get to the end of a little dungeon or whatever and I get like some cool spell and some cool weapon. And it's like, well, I guess I can invest a lot of time in leveling this up. And then I would do that and I'd be like, okay, but this other one is still way better, so I guess it's not as cool as I thought. I don't know. Maybe it's a balance thing. I think it's a balance thing. I don't know. I am recording.
I'm not.
Well, Nick stepped away, so.
Yeah.
Where did Nick go?
Get water.
Who doesn't have water? Come on now.
Everyone has water. It just happens to be in the other room.
How long has he been podcasting? Bring your water.
Stop it, Warcrawl. Get help.
I finished Rebirth, man. I was surprised by like when I wasn't not far, but I had done Costa del Sol and I was kind of in the Corel region. But once I started playing again, man, I just had pretty good momentum. It's a long game.
It is. And it's a game
I,
that you
I
cannot
think I think by the
complete.
end, I think I was like 70 hours, which a lot of people will play for over 100 hours, but that's because they're like trying to 100% these areas. And I, at some point, so I had 100%ed like 2 areas where I was in the game, and I was kind of most of the way through the third. And at some point, I was like, well, maybe I'll 100% this stuff later, but I want to keep this momentum going. I'm recording, by the way. And then new quests for the previous areas you 100%ed open up, and it's like all of a sudden they take away your 100%, and they're like, "Fuck you, 100% harder, bitch." And I'm like, dude.
Well, I mean, you can't even actually fully complete the game in a single playthrough. You have to do it in a new game plus.
All right, I'm ready.
Well,
there's specifically content that you cannot beat on your first playthrough.
Nick, we're talking about Leisure Suit Larry. Wet dreams don't dry.
Yeah,
I don't believe you.
Oh, did you know there's Nolan? Do you know there's DLC for Dave the Diver? Did we talk about this last week? Did I have the trailer? Did I have the trailer?
No, not there's been some DLC. For it. Yeah,
there's Godzilla
no.
DLC,
Yeah,
but...
no. There's Godzilla DLC, Dress DLC. No. I'm talking about booby character DLC. Who's the fuck? What's the crossover?
What the fuck? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I just don't even know what you're talking about, though.
I don't know. I'm looking it up. What do I? Dave the Diver DLC Booba? Oh, the Liza P, not Liza P, the Stellar Blade. Their mobile game with the ass jiggling, gun shooting. The Stellar Blade.
The Haiti.
Nike. The porny mobile game that the Stellar Blade developer used to make.
I don't know it. I'm sorry.
They're next on. Are they next on?
Goddess of Victory, Nike.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Look up some GIFs. There's crossover that game with Dave the Diver where you can play as some of those ladies.
Why does that not show up in their DLC on Steam?
Well, maybe I dreamed this. No. There's a trailer. There was a trailer, or they talked about it. They announced it. Oh man! Right. So now I have a reason to play or finish Dave the Diver. In most games, if I can play as a lady, that's all I need. There are some games that I would have never.
So it was an
played.
update that it's not DLC. It's just an update that you can do it. Or people in chat are confused.
I mean, whatever. There's Booba and Dave the Diver now, and
Diver. Okay.
I'm stoked.
Well, maybe it's only
Victory Nike cross Dave the Diver.
Oh, I
be for
googled
mobile version.
Is it Dave the Diver on mobile? I just don't think it's out yet. I googled Dave the Diver DLC Booba, kind of ironically, and I got a YouTube video that says Dave the Diver, my Booba as flotation devices. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, so now I think I'm going to finally finish Dave the Diver.
You'll finish multiple times.
Yeah. This is why I didn't bet on Stellar Blade, by the way, because they used to make Goddess of Nike.
God
Look
damn.
at that fucking trash.
Jesus Christ, this trailer is ridiculous.
Well, you should look up a trailer for the game that it's crossing over with, because
Brad's over here shaming me, and he's just like, "Yeah, this is all I need to play
you.
Dave the Diver."
Shaming you.
I don't know.
What?
Making comments about shit that I watch or tweet. Come on, man.
Come on.
What is the word? It's immersive.
I can't talk about
RPG.
Booba because I make fun of Smallville. What is happening here?
Booba.
Are we ready to start? Can we do this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yes.
All right, I'm ready. I'm recording.
I've been recording.
I am recording.
Well, if you've been recording, stop the recording and start it over.
See, I just looked up some random gameplay footage from Goddess of Victory, and it's like they're taking cover and shooting their guns, but their asses are jiggling as they shoot.
Oh yeah, that's automatic weapons, baby. You got to get that AK for max jiggle.
And it's like where gravity is working extra hard, like pulling their buns to the ground. It's very strange.
Let me guess. It's like a scene from High School of the Dead.
I've never seen it.
Oh,
no idea.
you'll know when
do
you
not
see
get
it.
that reference.
Never heard of it.
All right.
Who's ready to record?
I am recording.
All right, roll call starts
Wait,
now. Oh god damn it.
I'm sorry, I was using the wrong mic. I just
Brad,
realized.
did you start your recording over, or are you like 6 minutes into your recording?
What do you think, Nick?
I don't know, Brad. Sometimes you surprise me.
What if it was 6 minutes? That's not. Is that gonna?
Then
fuck
you would
everything?
just. It doesn't
I'm
fuck everything
currently
up, it just it
58
wastes,
seconds, but it's getting longer.
it wastes more of
That's
my
what she said.
time. You don't.
I have restarted.
Wait, does
my
Brad
recording.
not chop off?
No,
The
I do.
extra recording?
Yeah, I'm saying he's
You're
talking
the
shit,
only-
and I don't do that.
You're the only one that does that, Nolan.
Well, you're welcome.
It's getting longer though. I'm now a minute
Okay,
19.
then just stop it. Just stop it until Nolan's ready, and then we'll start it again.
But it's not that long.
By the way, guys, if you're watching in chat, let us know what your most anticipated game for the rest of the year is. You can also there's also a thread in Discord. People don't know how to use threads apparently, but yeah, if you had to pick one game that you were most excited for the rest of 2024, let us know what it is. Maybe a little sentence as to why. I'd love to actually read some of those on the show.
Yeah. Type them now. Most anticipated for the rest of the year. Go.
Yeah,
go.
rest of the year.
I was
like,
gonna do some more niche games for my list, but I feel like I can't because y'all left off big ones. You know.
look, this is gonna call like 90% of our interaction, but can we just stipulate games that are not yet out? Because Dawn Trail, it's out. Okay, I know you want to spend the next 5,000 hours playing it, but my man.
Way to piss in their Cheerios, Chris Davis. What the hell?
Okay, Tack, I'll give you that. You're allowed that. That's fine.
I don't know. I feel like Chris Davis. No, you know what? Never mind. I'm currently not recording, by the way.
I don't know.
Okay.
We're waiting. Nolan's doing some troubleshooting on something.
So you finished Rise of the Ronin. Did you eventually stop 100%ing as you went?
No, I finished it. I 100% everything, and I platinumed the game.
He's a machine. He's a fucking machine.
He's a fucking machine.
He's a fucking machine.
That's
yes.
what was his nickname in college.
I mean, what can I say?
Damn.
He's not denying it.
You know,
I don't know what was going on.
What is it? What
Everything all of a sudden broken. I tried to fix it and I've made things worse. What the fuck?
do you need to restart?
Well, just so you know, you sound good on our end.
I always
That
sound
feedback
lovely,
is
Brad.
valuable.
I appreciate it.
Oh,
give me
he
1
sounds a
second
little
to try and
robot-y.
figure out what's.
that was just for like a quarter second.
Give me a second to try and figure out what's going on.
Okay.
All right, real talk, guys.
Next
We're gonna do a top three. That's pretty much all we're doing tonight. We're gonna do our top 3 most anticipated games of the year. Of course, there's gonna be some things that get left off, which is why I want to hear from y'all.
Yeah.
See, I want to hear this is why we stopped doing viewer questions a long time ago. Is because we couldn't get any juicy video game discussion out of you guys. Y'all are already giving me 1-word answers. Zelda.
Wait, you asked what games, and they're giving you games.
I said, what's your most anticipated game of the year and why? And I'm getting 1-word answers.
True.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Give us the why.
Yeah, we need the why, man.
Give us the game, and then a little hyphen, and then the reason why.
You don't have to adhere to that strict. Come on, man. Come on. I don't need a paragraph. I don't need.
I would like a paragraph.
I'd rather have a
Nick
paragraph.
is not your boss. Give me a paragraph.
Fuck. Paragraph would be nicer than 1 word.
Yeah, I think you could explain the Marvel vs. Capcom collection. I think he might use some of this as feedback during the the podcast.
I mean, personally, I do need some explanation as to
Right.
why Marvel vs. Capcom is super hype.
I apologize. Do I sound okay?
You sound great.
You've
Okay.
always sounded
Alright.
pretty good tonight, so but you sound good now.
It's not about that. It's I like something fucky was going on, and then when I
Oh.
when I
There's
went
a
to go restart
static for a
Audacity, it started freaking out. Do I sound like a robot, or is it like maybe right
No,
when I cut in
it
or
did-
out or something like that?
Oh, it just
There,
happened.
did it.
Yeah, it just happens every few seconds.
So that's my
When
question.
there's
Did-
overlapping of people talking over one another, that's when it happens.
I think you just did it too, Chris Davis.
See, he didn't do it for me though.
I heard something. Is
I
this
think
the
it's
NVIDIA
honestly Discord. I don't think it's the actual like our local recordings. I think it's Discord.
All right. Well, his
that would
local
make
recording is
sense
definitely fucked up.
It would make sense because earlier there was some issue when Chris Davis was sounding weird, but somebody had said he didn't. So I do think Discord's being a little funky. I don't know. Maybe it's something in my settings with like if I have like a noise gate on or something.
It could. How about we go complete silence and then start talking? Talk.
And here I'm talking, and let's see what's going on.
Yeah.
Penis.
I'm trying to see
Yeah.
if there is an automatic determine input sensitivity. If the indicator is solid green, the Discord transmitting your beautiful voice. What does automatically determine input sensitivity mean? I've never seen that setting before. Can I turn that off and see if I sound better?
Yeah.
Sure.
I gotta say, like
All
this,
right.
these have been
I've
like
turned it off. I think what it might be is it's like an automatic like noise gate in Discord, and I think maybe it's like in a bad place. I'm gonna lower it.
I mean, you're still kind
Um,
of crackling a little bit, which is.
Oh
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't
am I
think it's a good
crackling
idea.
now?
I mean, it's not like a robot, but like just little tiny dips of just.
It's like an
So
eighth of a
it's
second.
ticks here and there. None of it ever sounded any close to the disaster that was Chris Davis earlier.
Which is fine, but what I'm asking is, does it sound better now, or is it still being funky?
I think
It's
it sounds
the
about the
same.
same. But I think
Alright,
I think it'll be fine.
I changed one of the settings. How about now? Does it still sound weird or out of the ordinary or strange or roboty?
There wasn't a
Sound
single
good.
hiccup in that last one.
But I will say,
well, I'm just gonna leave the
98% of
setting
your
on.
speech tonight has been fine. So I think we're definitely
Fantastic. Let's just go.
goable.
All right, I'm hitting record, which means you
I'm
can do
recording.
that as well.
I am also recording.
I am recording.
All right, I could have just let that be the roll call right there. Well, actually, no, because whatever. Roll call starts now. Brad,
Hello.
Nolan,
This is Nolan, and I am doing a roll call.
ooh, hey, Chris Davis.
This is Chris Davis. Good evening. I'm doing a roll call as well.
Cool. All right. Let's get the show on the road. Hey, everyone. Welcome to 4Player Podcast. This is episode 801. It is July 2nd, 2024. I'm your host, Nick Henderson, joined tonight by Brad Simons.
No, I just go by Brad now. Thank you, Nick.
Okay, Brad.
Brad.
Sorry.
Just Brad.
Sorry, Brad. Nolan.
How's
Yeah.
it going, everybody?
I was totally hoping Nolan would be like, I go by Nolan Hedstrom now. Thank you very much. And Christopher Davis.
Y'all are never going to let me run by Chris, are you?
No,
But-
that's
I don't know.
never happening.
I've never really liked the last name thing, to be honest. Let's try out the first name thing.
I really only call the only person here who I call by their first and last name every single time I mention their name is Chris Davis. Everybody else,
I like it.
yeah, and
It's
let's
a
be-
good gimmick.
It is so prevalent that I even write Chris Davis in the rare
In
instances where I'm
everything.
going
And
to,
it irks
like,
me
yeah.
every time.
like if I'm making a personal note to myself about something, or if I'm writing the description for the podcast where I'm like, Brad did this, Nolan did this, I say Chris Davis did this. It's just part of the 4-player zeitgeist now. It's just you can't change it. You can't change it.
This
Sorry.
is your fault, Chris Davis. There's too many fucking Chris's.
There are.
What's
It's
his
my
dad's
fault for being born and being named Chris
Yes.
by my parents?
Oh.
Yes.
Well, it's not your fault. It's your parents' fault.
Yeah.
You just suffer because of it.
Exactly. Sins of the father or whatever. Okay.
You know,
okay.
my high school English class, senior year, there were 5 Chris's in there with me.
And you're telling me nobody made any effort to like distinguish them from each other?
Wait, in the whole
somehow?
senior class? That doesn't
No,
seem like that
in
many.
the English class of my senior year.
Yeah, that's
like-
pretty bad.
Well, I also had a coach for
I'd have gone
English,
by
so
like
like he didn't
Kristoff
give
or
a shit.
something.
So he just kind of pointed at people and said, "Go."
Well, now this is
Yeah,
just
it was
this
very
is just your
fucking
reality.
confusing.
It's just your reality. You got to live with it. Okay, guys, welcome to the show. First of all, we're doing something a little different tonight. We used to do these a lot. We haven't done them in a while. We're gonna do a top 3, right? We've all been playing stuff, but a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff we've kind of talked about before. So tonight, it's we're kind of right around. Actually, we just kind of crossed the middle point of 2024. So this seemed like an appropriate time to kind of look forward to the last half of 2024 and talk about what is now our most anticipated games of the year. Stuff has been announced. Some stuff has dates. Some stuff has date release windows. We've obviously the games that have come out. We've played them. We've talked about them. So now we have an opportunity to kind of like evaluate the remaining 6 months of the year. So we're each gonna list our top 3 most anticipated games, and we did our best. Actually, I'm not gonna say we did our best because we succeeded. There should be no crossover here tonight. We're really just here to talk about games that we're excited about. So obviously there's gonna be a lot of overlap. So we decided to just make sure we each have 3 different games. So I guess how do you want to start, Brad? Do you want to just go? It's been a while since we've done this. I don't really remember how we do
Well,
this.
we go around the horn. The horn.
And I have been putting the call out for people in Discord and in our chat to like let us know what their most anticipated game of the year is. So if there's a lot of games you're probably not going to hear us mention tonight, but if you shout it out, we'll talk about it.
This sucks though.
Right.
This sucks because I had 3 games and then I heard all y'all's games and then they were like, okay, well, we're not talking about these huge games that I know we're all excited about.
But those
Something
are
went wrong
obvious.
here.
Those are
Well, so
obvious.
do we not want to say obvious answers?
No, I mean look at this.
Damn it.
This really is
I
just
should-
this
It's
is really
kind of
just
interesting that you decided to wait and not even say anything after we gave out our lists.
yeah.
Well, I just got busy at work or whatever.
Brad was like, y'all should, Brad was like, we should all share our list.
It wasn't. It wasn't a
crossover.
fucking. I wasn't trying to keep it a secret. I'm not you, Chris Davis. I just. I
mean, no.
Hey, there were a few games I picked because I assumed they would be on Brad's list, right? And
That
I
you
was
didn't.
Like, I'm gonna.
Sorry, what was one of those games, Nick, that you didn't pick?
Do you want me to say it? Because I
Yeah,
know it's
say
not
it.
on Hollow Knight Silk Song.
No, we all omitted that one for the memes.
Yeah.
But there's another one. Okay, I'll say it. No one has the new Zelda game on their list.
That's true.
But I guess I'll say it because I feel like that's crazy. I'm super
What's
excited.
the name of the game? What's the full name?
Echoes
of the game,
of Wisdom, Nick.
Brad? There we go.
The Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom, and I remember that because it's her Triforce.
Yep.
And
It is.
it also suggests that this one is going to be kind of puzzly, and we've seen a little trailer and a demonstration of it, and it definitely seems. It's at. I don't want to get into what we call a 2D Zelda, Nick, like we did last time. But
I'm not bringing that up again, okay?
It is an old school Zelda game, kind of like their more recent. I like to think of A Link Between Worlds more than that remake of
Awakening.
Link's Awakening, which is cool, but that was mostly just an art style change.
We did confirm it's the same studio that made Link's Awakening, right?
No,
It's
nothing's
not?
been confirmed, right?
I thought it was Grezzo.
In fact, Nintendo has gone out and said they're very adamant about not saying who's making these games. I don't think we do know.
I
it
just,
could be-
I mean, I guess I'm not
Absolutely
gonna
could
lie.
be, but-
I did kind of assume it was the same team because the art style looks very reminiscent of the style they used in Link's Awakening.
Look, I don't want it to be that because I want it to be someone who is good at making Zelda games, not good at remaking Zelda
Who
games.
is that other than like a core internal Zelda?
A core internal Zelda? Are you saying the princess doesn't deserve a core internal Zelda team, Nick?
Did I say that? Is that what I said?
Well, I don't know. It sounds like you're fucking saying it.
No, I'm just saying I don't think that's what this is.
A Link
That's all
Between
I'm
Worlds
saying.
is pretty great, and if it comes any close to like the quality of A Link Between Worlds, then I'll be super fucking happy. The one downside is that game was very easy, and this is a game where you play as a girl for the first time, and I'm worried Nintendo's gonna Nintendo, and that it's going to be really easy.
I mean, they already
like
did
the
that to
fucking-
Peach earlier this year. Like, I think
That's what I'm
just gonna be
saying. That's what I'm
Nintendo's thing.
fucking worried about. But luckily, the mechanics themselves, they look cool. It looks very puzzly, and it definitely has a little bit of that Breath of the Wild vibe, or
I was
Tears
gonna
of
say
the Kingdom
Tears-
vibe
yeah,
more
Tears of the
so,
Kingdom.
where you get a set of tools and it's like, man, just fucking around with shit and figure it out. Not so much this is your one solution. It's, if you want to stack a bunch of tables and chairs to get through this puzzle, then fucking go for it. But I do worry a little bit if it really is Grezzo, who is a studio that has just been remastering and remaking Zelda games. Then I don't know, can they make a good puzzle? I don't fucking
It's
know.
like Blue
It's
Point,
that
right?
whole
You've been
it's that whole Blue Point thing, right? Yeah. Could they make their own original Souls game? Maybe, but I mean, they definitely don't have the resume for that, so I don't know.
Was
but
it
this will
was
probably
it
be okay.
Grezzo that did Link Between Worlds?
No.
Okay.
Grezzo,
wondering-
Grezzo before
they did
they
Ocarina
did
of Time
the remake.
3DS.
They did Ocarina of Time 3DS. They remastered Twilight Princess. I mean, like they're pretty good at fucking around with Zelda stuff, but they haven't made their own original Zelda shit. And from what I understand, sort of the original shit in that Link's Awakening remake was a little mid. So I don't know. We'll see. Like the whole dungeon, they did that custom dungeon thing. Not a custom dungeon thing. You were building like a dungeon with pieces. I don't remember.
Look, I think this is interesting because it's kind of the first original Zelda to come out in a post Tears of the Kingdom world. I know obviously it was kind of coded, like it was developed in parallel to Tears of the Kingdom, right? So you can't really sit here and say that Echoes of Wisdom or whatever is directly inspired by Tears of the Kingdom, but it certainly is coming out in at a time and making it seem like we are now in a post Tears of the Kingdom world, and we're going for freedom of mechanics in Zelda and not having like super tight control over the solutions to our puzzles, and that's kind of exciting. And like seeing it translated to this 2D Zelda game is pretty neat.
And it's probably going to have more traditional dungeons, which people have been wanting, right? That's kind of the thing that's
what I was gonna say. Did we see a whole lot of that in the trailer, like traditional dungeons? I'm not saying.
I mean, you have to assume that some of those indoor
Well, that's what I'm
areas
saying.
were probably
I'm not
that.
saying. I'm not saying they aren't in there. I'm just saying we haven't seen that. So I am curious as to how they're going to handle those situations. I'm looking forward to adding even kind of more puzzly elements to dungeons in Zelda. Zelda dungeons have always had some puzzles, but it seems like with the core mechanics of this game, that might even up the ante a little bit.
Right.
I hope so. But it looks good, and I would be crazy. Like I kind of was wanting to have more like Brad picks or picks that would inspire more Brad like takes or whatever. Like the games that aren't necessarily going to be the games that y'all play. But I mean, if I'm being honest with myself, of course this is up there for me. So I put it at number 3. It might even be actually higher, but whatever. We'll see. I hope it's good. It'd be kind of a tragedy if this thing is mid.
For sure.
But I don't know. I don't see how that could happen.
I don't see how it could happen
really.
either. Hey, look, here's what I'm going to do. Just maybe to kind of encourage people to tell us some of their picks. In between, I'm just going to kind of every once in a while sprinkle some community stuff in there, because we asked people in Discord and on Twitch to share their most anticipated game of the year. So here, let's see. I see some.
Read that tack paragraph. Tack wrote us a paragraph.
Tack wrote a paragraph. Okay.
Yeah.
Technology in Twitch chat says Space Marine 2 looks like a competent sequel to a solid game in a franchise I enjoy greatly. The campaign is a good enough reason for me to pull the trigger on it, so if the multiplayer ends up being good as well, it'll be a bonus. It also features Tyranids, and I'm a sucker for swarm factions. That game does look pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. It's shaping up nice. That was in the news this week, so we're not doing a regular show, but might as well mention it here. They were originally planning on doing a beta, like a public beta. Was it a public or a private beta? I don't know. But they have since canceled plans to do that beta so they can focus on, I don't know, polishing the game.
Yeah,
I guess.
What I've been saying about this game for a while now, ever since I counterpicked it in Fantasy Critic, I hope that it has a rough launch and scores poorly, but they rally. The community loves it and they play it for years.
Best of both worlds, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I am also pretty excited to see. I'm very interested to see how that turns out because I hope it's good one way or the other because I really enjoyed my time with
The
the first
graphics
one.
are at least nice, I guess.
The graphics do look nice. All right, who wants to go? Nolan, you want to go next?
Sure, I can go next.
Do it.
All right. So one of my most anticipated games that's coming out in the second half of this year is The Plucky Squire.
Oh, that game.
Mm.
Oh, you went with the controversial pick, huh?
Very controversial.
Went
Boo.
with the
There's-
racists.
Wait a
There's been
minute.
some, yeah.
What's
Everyone
going on
wants
in
it
your
to be
background
racist.
there?
What's going on?
Looks like Sweet Baby Ink got a hold of Plucky Squire. Maybe they.
Just fucking
Yeah.
gay. There's been some, some hands-on, like not reviews, but essentially, some people have gotten their hands on the game the past few weeks and months,
Oh man,
and
the
have
previews
talked
are
about
insanely
it.
positive. Fuck you, Nolan.
Yeah. I'm hearing really positive stuff about the game.
Yeah.
Obviously, everything we've seen so far has looked really good.
Every
And
fucking time I watch footage of this, and I was watching the previews, is I'm like, oh, this game looks so good. And this happens every time, the same fucking arc, and then he jumps out of the book, and I'm like, oh, I fucking forgot this game has that shit too. And that
Yep.
shit looks crazy. Every time it happens.
yeah, the shifting of like dimensions, and my curiosity is maybe we've only seen a part of what the game has to offer. It makes me think of, and I was talking with Bernadette about this the other day. It Takes Two, how like that game seemed like it was kind of one level, one layer, one thing, but every section completely changes up how the gameplay works and how you interact with the environment and all of these things. And I'm getting the similar vibe from this game, where it's going to constantly
hope so.
stay fresh, and kind of like I'm sure you might have a little more kind of using the same stuff that you've learned over time. It's going to 2D to the 3D platformer and stuff like that. But it
And
seems
he
like it has
jumps
so
in.
much
It's
potential.
very like Mario Odyssey, right? Where I was watching a lot of that preview footage where he'll like jump out of the book and then he'll do some platforming and then he'll like jump into like the side of like a mug or whatever. And then that's more 2D gameplay. It's very Mario Odyssey and it just looks
For
really
sure.
good.
It does. I'm super excited for it. It's one of those things where it's
Do
been
they
on
have a date yet?
everyone's radar for a while.
They're
I
still
don't
saying 2024,
know.
but there's no date.
Yeah, I don't think there's an
This
official
is this
one.
one is becoming a little bit of like a Silk Song. Is like very anticipated, and everyone's getting
Yeah.
very antsy that it doesn't have.
But
A
unlike
date?
Silk Song, we're actually getting consistent trailers for this game.
Yeah,
It has been
ever
pretty
since-
steady, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
This is,
ever
but
since
this
it's
is
been announced,
published by Devolver Digital, right? So
Yeah,
I mean,
correct.
they have a publishing team. Like
Oh,
Team
yeah,
Cherry is
for
still
sure.
3 people, self-published, taking their sweet ass time. You know,
Yeah, I
It's still
think the fact that Devolver is publishing it is probably going to ensure that it comes out this year, because I'm pretty sure they're probably gonna, with a bigger company behind them, they're gonna give them like the hard deadlines of being like, okay, well, we need to make
Yeah.
money, so release the game.
Gotcha.
So
Well,
pretty
yeah,
excited for it.
Lucky Square continues to look sick. You know,
Mhm.
hope they don't get milkshake ducked. It's pretty.
They will not.
dude. Like, but there's not a zero chance that could happen, right? In fact, I would say it's probably at least 10% in this industry.
At least
There's
And-
never a 0% chance.
It would be so funny because it's like we summoned it. We made it happen. I almost kind of want it to happen just
Don't
for
you
the
put
laughs.
that evil on me, Brad.
just for the people listening
I
at
mean,
home, we're clearly
look.
clearly saying
It'll
this in
probably
jest.
be after the game comes out and sells a couple million copies. Reviews
and we've
are
all played it and
glowing.
we've enjoyed it.
Then someone says something stupid, and I'm like, well, you know what?
Suddenly explains a lot about the game. Anyways, passing it over to Chris Davis now. What is your first pick for the night, Chris Davis?
My first pick of the night is a game that showed up in Trailer Talk tonight. So y'all should show up
you're
early
pulling
to
the
the podcast recordings to actually watch us go through Trailer Talk.
You're pulling the trigger on this, huh?
Yeah. Mine is the upcoming deluxe remaster of the original Dead Rising from 2006.
You could have picked anything in the world, and you're going with the deluxe remaster of an Xbox 360 launch
Well,
game?
it is deluxe, Nick. It says deluxe right in the title.
It's deluxe in the title, Nick. Like, come on, man.
You have been
But,
on
like,
a real Dead Rising kick.
I have, because Dead Rising is a fun series, apart from one game that we don't talk about.
Which
But,
one
like,
is that? 4?
4. We don't talk about 4.
Wait, which one was 3? Did I?
Dead Rising 3 was the Xbox One launch title. That was
have
set
zero
in
memory of
not
3.
Los Angeles.
Probably because you didn't play 3, Nick.
Oh, well, I haven't played any since 1. And I
Really?
didn't even like 1.
Oh wow. Well, you might want to play this new remaster, because here's the thing.
See. Well,
They're calling it a deluxe remaster because it's 2/3 basically a remake, but they can't call it that because it's not like a reinterpretation of that
As
original
long as
game.
it doesn't lead to a new tag in Fantasy Critic.
Like it.
Deluxe remaster.
Oh, I wouldn't put it past them. Like, didn't Metroid Prime Remastered end up on Fantasy Critic?
No, it's
Anyway.
just a remaster.
So yeah, so they basically ported the game into the new RE engine. So you've got that visual fidelity, or kind of that visual fidelity.
kinda.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, if you didn't watch the Capcom Direct, did you?
I did not know.
I did.
All right, so they spent a lot of time going over it, and it really does look.
Was there like a lot of footage, like gameplay footage in that presentation of this?
A lot of clips, but yeah, there was a lot of gameplay footage. Yeah.
Okay.
And basically, what they're really doing is they're keeping most of the same voice acting. They're keeping the same character animations and stuff. The only things they're really updating are the graphics, doing quality of life stuff, improving NPC AI, and really that's all they're and like small things like adding an autosave and stuff. Like it's
I can't help but feel like sorry, this is not to like undermine your pick here.
I think you're
Did
about
you
to
not
undermine
get the
his pick.
assignment?
I feel
What do you
like
mean?
you're
I'm sorry.
undermining my pick.
Super
here.
undermined it, you dick.
I know. It's just like I remember a few weeks ago, Chris Davis said something outrageous like, "There's only like 2 games he's excited for the rest of the year or something,"
3.
and I'm like, "Is this our 3?" And
That is a
were-
dumb thing to say.
Were
That's
these
crazy.
the 3? The 3 that you're doing tonight? Were these the 3 that you had in mind?
So
Two
like
of them are.
these games on our list, you don't even give a shit about, is what you're saying.
No, it's just that like I'm in crunch mode, so I'm focusing only on stuff that like if it's $30 or under, I will buy it. If it's
He's
over
in financial
that, like
crunch mode. Gotcha.
yeah, I have.
You know,
to
you can be
picky.
excited about something even if you know you're not going to be able to like play it right when it comes out, right?
I mean, yeah, sure, but like there's also
Look,
like
and while
not a whole lot of
while
things
Carl
are
in
really
chat-
just grabbing me. So
While Carl in chat
Okay,
says,
so
"Wow,
he's saying
Nick
he's
is
not
being."
excited.
While Carl in chat says Nick is being a secret dick tonight, and I don't think I'm being very secretive about it.
no,
I
he's not being very
apologize.
secretive at all.
That was just.
He's
But like,
very
Nick,
blatant.
if the Final Fantasy Tactics remaster was announced, that would be my number 1 with the bullet, right?
But that's your like favorite game of all time. I'm just stuck on the hill.
I guess Dead Rising 1 seems like a game that's probably not someone's favorite game of all time. Maybe someone's like second favorite game of all time, but like
it's
favorite.
it's a cult series. If you
Because
Did I
I
tell
guess
you-
I just underestimated
Did I
how
ever
much
tell
you
you?
actually really love this series. But
I work with someone, and I only remember his 1 and 2, and he said this with complete and utter sincerity that his favorite
Conviction.
movie of all time is Gone in 60 Seconds with Nicolas Cage. And then we got to his number 2 with the utmost sincerity. And I know this because this is one of his top 3 actors. Number 2 favorite film of all time, the world of cinema, if you will.
respect. This is we're trying.
This is a
respectfully
man in
here.
his mid 30s, Kindergarten Cop. Number 2. Kindergarten Cop.
Man
Number
knows what he
2.
wants, right? It's just,
He knows what he wants.
See, now I want to know what Nick's letterbox review score is going to be of Gone in 60 Seconds and Kindergarten Cop.
It is probably
would have-
higher than Star Wars or Halloween.
Probably.
that is definitely not true. I do remember liking Gone in 60 Seconds, but last time I watched Gone in 60 Seconds, I'm pretty sure I was a teenager as well.
Yeah.
So, a lot's changed.
Angelina Jolie and the stick
Angelina
shift.
Jolie.
Come on.
Yeah.
We've all seen it. It's good. It was good. It was good back
fine.
then.
Wasn't that like pre Fast and the Furious too?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Come
It was probably right after the first.
Well, same
Fast and
time?
Furious. It was. You know what? Probably around the same time. Actually, I'm not gonna. In fact, if they're the same year, I would not be surprised.
Yeah, similar. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But anyway-
okay, do y'all have guesses? I looked it up real quick.
I'm gonna say 2001 for both.
I'm gonna say 2000.
Or 2000.
I'm gonna say 2000 for Gone in 60 Seconds. 2002 for Fast and the Furious.
Oh, sorry for the
no,
year.
no. Yeah. The year.
Oh no, it was probably 02, 03. I think it came out after Fast and the Furious.
All right, these fucking guys. June 2000 for Gone in 60 Seconds. June
Yes.
2001 for Fast and
Oh!
Furious.
I went over.
A year before.
Wow.
It was
They beat him
one
to the
year
punch.
before. Yeah.
Beat him to the punch. Anyways,
For honestly, kind of a better movie in my opinion.
Vin Diesel
I-
owns his success to Nicolas Cage.
I always
And
I always
so does
contribute-
Michelle Rodriguez.
He Nicolas Cage drove at the speed limit, so Vin Diesel could break the speed limit.
how did
I
we get
always
here? How did we
attributed
end
like
up here. Okay.
I don't know. We're talking about our most anticipated movies.
No.
Oh,
What?
what are we talking about?
Right now we're talking about Dead Rising. Throwing it back. To
Oh, I think we're on next.
I
number
would love to
three,
talk about
actually.
Dead Rising. Like it looks really
You did.
good. Like anyone who didn't play the original, like I understand
Why
it
are we
had
still talking
problems
about
when it first came out.
Yeah,
Like
I'm not
The-
going to be Nick. I'm not going to fault you for having this on your list, but how much lip service can you give a remaster of Dead Rising?
I mean, if you're a fan of the original, there's plenty to talk about. Like
Okay.
I don't know. Like it's kind of hard to describe. Again, the game had a rough launch because it was
Well,
it was 05, 06 during that transition time to HD when there wasn't like standards for like how you did things in HD.
you couldn't
so like
read text in that game.
you
on
couldn't
an
read
HD
text
television.
on a standard definition television. So that was an issue they had to patch in
Or standard def, yeah.
afterwards.
Can you read the
Um,
text now?
I would certainly hope so.
Not
Yeah.
on a standard definition television.
Yeah, I'm gonna plug that shit into a standard FTV, and if I can't see shit, then it's the same fucking problem.
Also, to be clear, and Ichi's kid points this out in chat, there is a distinction to make because we say it had a rough launch. It was kind of a technical
Yeah.
mess because of like standards like you're talking about. But
Yeah.
like it was a huge hit because it was a launch
Yes.
title for the Xbox 360. It was a big
Yeah.
hit.
Well,
And
it
it's
was-
got 3 sequels at least. And
It was one of like 5 games that had to be a hit.
That's
Yeah.
true. That is true.
There weren't many options.
Well, there was Call of Duty 2, and that was really good.
Yeah.
So
I forgot about that.
no, I think Dead Rising came out the following year, but I mean it's
Oh.
it's a fucking fun game. It's a fun little simulator of running around a mall with a time limit to go do different chores and rescue people
Chores.
and fight absolute psychopaths that are great. Fun photography, like
And
I
there's
wanna
zombies
say-
in this game.
like the
We're never gonna get this
photography aspect of the original Dead Rising, like that really grabbed me back in the day because I love the idea
What was
of
your
being able
favorite
to.
Psycho?
I mean, you can't go wrong with the psycho clown
just hit a
Adam.
clown.
That was
They
They
just
did
a
show the
clown.
remastered clown in that footage, and it looked pretty fucking remastered. Let me tell you,
Okay.
creepy.
Yeah, that's
Creepy
fucking
clowns for the win.
I forgot about the guy in the grocery store that runs around with the shopping cart full of pitchforks and tries to run you over. Like it's a I don't know. It's just a fucking fun.
I hope
game.
to see some new crossover stuff, like in the, that was one of the best things. You could put on like a Cerbot head and stuff, right? Like,
Oh,
let's get
there's
some
like-
modern Capcom crossover, some Monster
There's like
Hunter.
there is like 18 different costumes coming for Frank for like tons of different games. Like, and most of them have already
Is
fucking
it DLC? You have to buy it. Is it DLC?
I think it's like a pre-order bonus.
This is some scumbag shit now. Okay, boo. Video games suck. Boo.
I mean-
They suck.
Yeah.
I mean,
like-
you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Tell us about the orange juice.
Okay, Brett, you gotta.
I mean,
Come on,
that was
man.
another thing about Dead Rising was that there was a lot of hidden mechanics that the game did not do a good job of explaining to you, like the ability to like combine food items in a blender to create like special potent, items you could use. Like there was a lot of smart things that they did in that game that only got better as the series went on. Just they weren't communicated properly.
like millions of players. I just played the demo, but it was a good demo. It was a good
Really?
demo.
Am I the only one that actually played this game?
I played it.
I just
bought
told you I
bought
played
it,
the demo.
I bought it at launch and I played it for like 3 hours.
And then you get the sword in the demo and you're slicing dudes up. Shit was cool.
I was also playing at the same time as this. I was playing, what was it? Was that a Forza game that came out on the 360 right around the same time?
No, it was a Forza game.
Forza, sorry. Okay, we need to move on.
That's right.
Even so
I
far
remember
tonight,
Brad.
it's
Brad
more
doesn't.
about a 20-year-old game than anything else.
That's true. Okay.
Okay. All right.
That was a
Rating
famous
of-
demo. Don't fault me for playing
No,
that.
it absolutely was, but like you played the demo, but you didn't actually play the core game, so you missed out on a bunch of stuff.
I bought real video games. Come on. Now I was an adult when that came out. What do you?
Yeah,
Right,
and you
18-year-old
chose not to
game.
play it.
Yeah.
Okay, Brad. I hate you. Okay. I feel like, okay, my number 3 pick, most anticipated game, and I feel like I have to do this. I'm gonna go with Silent Hill 2. And you know what? What kind of fan would I be if I said Silent Hill 2 is one of my favorite games of all time, and I didn't express excitement for a remake of my most anticipated game, or one of my most favorite games of all time, right? And that's
Now we're talking about a 23-year-old game.
now we're gonna yes, now we're gonna talk about 20. Except this is an actual like honest to god remake from the ground up.
Oh, you're
Completely
saying more than deluxe. This is
it's more than if they called this Silent Hill 2 Deluxe. I wouldn't be talking. I wouldn't be talking about this game. I'm just saying. You know, I know this has been kind of like one of those. It is not just one of my favorite games of all time. It is like one of the most beloved horror games of all time, and therefore people look at remakes, especially remakes by a completely different studio, as something very suspect, as they probably should, and that's totally fine. I know, people have mixed opinions about Bloober, but from the moment I saw this game in motion for the first time, I thought this looked like a phenomenal recreation of one of my favorite games of all time. Come on, Brad.
I just looked at what came out in August of 2006 when Dead Rising came out. You know what came out? Roblox. Holy shit, that game is old. But I figured out the game that I would have bought instead of it, and it's of course Xenosaga Episode 3. Of course, I would have spent my money on that, not Dead Rising.
That was a PS2
I didn't have
game.
I didn't have a 360 in 2006. That's why I didn't buy Dead Rising.
Have you heard
Yeah.
anything I've said so far, Brad?
Silent Hill 2 Deluxe. Yes, continue.
Silent Hill 2 Deluxe. Exactly. No, man. Look, I think there's nowhere to go but up in terms of like the things that people love to bitch about with Silent Hill as a series, which is the combat. Everybody's always, even though the series is not about combat, everybody loves to be like the combat in the game is shit. It's all people ever say about that fucking game, and there's nowhere to go but up on that. And I think what they've shown so far has looked fun. Which is not really something a word I've ever used to describe my time playing a Silent Hill game. But it also looks appropriately spooky and atmospheric and visually beautiful, and it's got some good voice acting. There's really not, I mean, one way or the other, whether it's good or it's bad, on day one, I'm going to be sitting down to play this and I'm going to be kind of giddy. Simple as that. I'm going to be playing a remake, one of my favorite games of all time, and yeah, that's really all there is to say about it.
I'm gonna play it too. You're
Yeah.
in good company, man. Don't worry about it. Hope it's good. I hope Bloober knocks it out of the park.
I mean, it is one of those things where it's like I can't believe I've liked most of what the games I've played from Bloober. They've had a few misses, and this is obviously their biggest project they've ever been able to do, but it's still one of those things where it's like you're remaking one of the most beloved games of all time. why'd you have to give it to a studio where not, because everybody's gonna instantly be like gonna judge who you're giving it to, right? And they should. It's just kind of shitty that like they picked a studio that's gonna immediately invite tons of backlash or tons of judgment, and that in and of itself sucks. But I think what they've shown so far has been pretty great. And if I have the ability to kind of run around Silent Hill, like the town of Silent Hill, and find new Easter eggs and secrets and stuff, and just kind of see that world reinterpreted in like a really beautiful way, like I'm here for it. I'm fucking here for it. Thank you, Bog Noise. I also liked the Blair Witch game. You know that. Like it's some good shit. Come on. All right. We made it. We made it one lap around the sun.
Woo woo! Oh my god! By the way, I was just looking at a list. There's so many good PS2 games that came out in 2006. So, yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
My god.
Well, you're talking about the PS2, baby.
Well, yeah. Final Fantasy 12, Bully, Okami, Tales of the Abyss. So many good. The games that I was playing at the time. Elite Beat Agents. Oh my god.
There's some good ones.
God Hand.
Was
man.
God of War 2
Yeah.
2006 or 2005?
Maybe.
that's
Oh,
good.
Oblivion was the big 2016. That was the one that eventually got me to buy the 360. But, man, Twilight Princess came out. I mean, it was just a crazy fucking year.
Damn, why would
Hitman Blood Money? Yeah.
Did anybody hear
Anyways.
that noise? Or was that just me?
It sounded like a whisper.
Yeah, that was me. I was going, whew.
Yeah.
No, that's not what I
Okay.
heard. Anyways,
Then no, we didn't hear the noise.
all right,
Like
I'm
farted, y'all.
I'm
Moving
going
on.
insane. All right,
sure.
Brad, what's your second pick for the night?
God, this is, sorry. My mind went to a place weird.
Yeah, tell us more.
Yeah. My number 2. Damn it. This is another one where y'all fucked me. I want to throw in my more interesting pick, which was World of Goo 2, but I won't do it because
Then talk about World of Goo 2. What the fuck?
no, because y'all left off. No one's gonna
Right.
talk about Astrobot, and it hurts my heart.
Brad, you know why I didn't pick Astrobot? Because I assumed you would.
And I assumed someone would.
That
I
person
can
is
change
you.
one of my games and replace it with Astrobot.
Okay, all right.
It's so weird. Like
took one for the
we
team.
we had this grand plan to like share our lists so we could coordinate before this thing happens. And we're still making decisions completely based on assumptions.
I know, and we saw y'all shit, and then I saw like fucking Dead Rising remastered, and I was like, oh, well, I guess we're not doing games we truly love.
Look, real quick, I'm gonna squeeze this in. Prince of the Universe says Astrobot is his most anticipated game for the rest of the year because the previews for that game were just so damn good, making me think we finally have a studio that can rival Nintendo when it comes to 3D platformers.
True.
He also said, and Bog Noise followed up with says the new Astrobot music is super hype as well.
It's true.
Yeah, dude, there's love for Astrobot.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
for
So
fucking
so the community can fill in the gaps. I am very
Yes,
excited about the game.
that's the whole
I'll
point.
talk about World of Goo 2. Fuck
Do
it. Especially
So
because
now we're going to talk about a 14-year-old.
the reason I didn't share World of Goo 2 is because famously I bought all y'all copies of World of Goo 2, and all y'all were like, fuck you.
No, you bought us a copy of World of Goo 1.
Yeah, that's what I mean. World of Goo 1. Crispy did play through like half of it, I guess.
I
was like,
fucking
"This is
beat
pretty
World
cool."
of Goo.
Yeah, I mean,
before
but that was
you
back
bought
in
it
the-
for me.
I'm talking about, yeah.
I
You were
redeemed the
already gonna
code.
play
It's
it.
on my Steam account.
I do really love World of Goo, and I don't know, what year did World of Goo come out? 2009 maybe.
2008.
I'm really
2008.
more of an Elefunk guy.
This was Elefunk. This was a game. This was still relatively early in the world of prestige, downloadable games, like downloadable indies that were like, hey man, this game can warrant just as much love as a real video game.
I played this on my Wii.
I played it on the Wii
Original
as
World of
well. I adore this game, and this was one of the first indie games I remember playing. That's like, oh, this is also an indie game with a message, and I feel like now all indie games do, right? But back then it was like some pretty basic bullshit, I suppose. you know.
I feel like too much
But,
time has passed now. Like I can't just go back and play World of Goo now.
Okay, well
No,
that's
you still can.
incredibly
It's
stupid
pretty
because
fucking good.
yeah, like it 100% holds up.
I am saying that in
mechanically.
jest because I'm specifically saying because Brad gifted it to us, so now it would just if I went back and played it now, it would just highlight how long I waited to play it, which makes me look like an asshole.
Well, or you
but-
could just play it and not be an asshole. But whatever.
I suppose that's true as well.
It is a game I truly I thought long and hard about a game. I tried to find a game, and I guess Nolan had played it that I knew most of y'all had not played that I really loved, because that is but a game that I also thought that all of y'all could play, because I could have said like Disgaea or some shit, and y'all would have of course never played that, but any reasonable person could play World of Goo. It's a very accessible game. But yeah. Yeah. A game I truly love. The only thing I'm worried about is it has been really long, and I did play with the Wii, and those sort of controls don't really exist anymore. I mean, the closest is like a mouse, right? You could play with a mouse. In the original World of Goo or Tower of Goo or whatever, you did kind of play that with a mouse. But I loved playing it with a Wii. It just felt good, right? It felt good in the way that like a Wii pointer game could, where you're like flicking them and flinging them, and you just felt like you had a lot of control. They're probably going to try to do that with the Switch version, and it's just not going to feel good because they don't have that sort of IR sensor anymore. They just use gyro, and aiming with gyro sucks, right? That's why aiming the arrows in Twilight Princess probably felt better than they did in Skyward Sword, because I think by the time Skyward Sword came out, or like in because Skyward Sword used the gyro, right, for aiming. Actually, I think it used a combination of both. I feel like that thing you attached to a Wiimote actually felt pretty good. I think it was because it was using a combination of both, but whatever.
You talking about the nunchuck, or are you talking about the precision like adapter thing?
The little attachment, stuck on the end of your Wiimote.
Yeah.
Which I think just had gyro in it. Anyways, I'm looking forward to World of Goo a lot. It's a game, I love good, fun physicsy games, and it was very funny and clever, and I love the art and I love the music in World of Goo, and it has been a long time, and there's a lot of people who started gaming more seriously since then. I feel like a lot of people maybe never played World of Goo, but this new one looks like you just try it now. You don't have to go back to play that first one. In a lot of ways, this does look like more World of Goo, and I assure you, if it is as quality as that first one, it will absolutely still hold up in 2024. And I'm very excited, and I feel like no one else would beat that drum, so I wanted to put it on my list.
See, that's the juice right there. Is
But am I more excited about it than Astrobot? I don't know.
I mean, I think I can safely say I think most of us here are pretty stoked for Astrobot, right? Except maybe Chris Davis.
Not like top 3. Apparently not that much.
I mean, I'm interested in Astrobot. I just never played the original. So
you have a PS5.
Yeah,
that's not the original.
Well, I mean,
Rescue Mission, I guess, would
Rescue
be
Mission is the original, I suppose, but this game is going to resemble probably more closely the
Astro's Playroom.
Wait, Chris Davis, you own a PS5 and you never played Astro's Playroom?
Correct.
That's so
on your PlayStation.
Fool.
It's just on your PlayStation.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's just
when I bought my PlayStation, I had full price games that I bought alongside it, and I played
the fact that you had full price games.
I never got around to playing Playroom.
But
here's
you can't
the thing.
Take it back. You said full price in there, like as if it's less than, because it was.
But Chris Davis, you're trying to save money right now, and you have a free, phenomenal video game on your PlayStation.
That's true.
Unless you want to install it.
That made several of our top 10s that year.
You have never experienced the peak of that PlayStation 5 controller.
I always thought that it was just like a demo thing. I didn't think it was like
it is not a demo game.
It is not a demo
game.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Now the reason it is called a tech demo for the controller, because it does the best job of showing what that controller can do, and that's true. But it is still a video game.
You can feel the rain with the controller.
Bognoise says
you can feel a lot of things.
Chris Davis has never felt raindrops on his DualSense.
That's true.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, Chris Davis, right now, you have it. It is free. No excuses. You could play that shit tonight. That game is truly special. Like
And they're
now,
about to
I
make a
think
whole
Rescue
game of
Mission
it.
is more magical, and it is, in my opinion, one of the best VR experiences you can have. But like,
Right
and
next
that's
to,
the one that
Alex,
tells
baby.
me that this new one coming out is a goat even more than this PS5 game. But if you've never played that PS5 game, absolutely, you gotta fuck around with that. It's so cool.
Okay.
Just for the PlayStation nostalgia alone. I know you love
For sure.
PlayStation.
Oh, yeah.
You've always been
It is
diehard
very
Blue
nostalgic.
Boy, right? I mean, that's your brand, PlayStation.
Wait,
You're wearing a blue shirt.
Haven't
You got
we
a blue
always
cat back
like?
there.
Haven't we always like
He's been the
jokingly
PlayStation
busted
guy.
his balls for being an Xbot?
PlayStation bot. Yeah, I'm joking, Nick.
That's.
Oh, sorry. I missed.
You
I
said
missed.
it.
I was wondering,
missed the
like, have we
context.
entered a parallel reality and I just didn't realize it? Like,
Yeah,
I
we're-
just didn't pick up on it. It's okay. Maybe I
Don't
was.
worry, Chris
Maybe I
Davis,
was
I
too
didn't pick up
subtle.
on it
Maybe
either.
I was too subtle. I'm sorry.
I caught every fucking thing you were saying.
Subtlety is for cowards. Who said that? Some director. I think.
All right. Let's pass it over to Nolan. Nolan, what's your second pick for the night?
Well, since y'all are going to be up in here talking about 18-year-old games and 24-year-old
shit.
games and all these old games that came out forever ago, I'm going to talk about a game that's coming out this year that is potentially, maybe one might say, a remake of a 20-year-old game. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
we are
Metal Gear
all just
Solid
old
Alpha.
people trying to relive the games of our past. Damn it.
Well, when you see the industry going to shit like it is, like, you can't help but like dive into nostalgia.
Gotta relive our glory
cool.
days. So, of course, you're referring to
So-
what?
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater is the game I'm talking about. Probably one of my top. It's pretty top 10 PS2 games
course,
by
yeah.
far. One of my favorite games growing up. Probably the Metal Gear Solid game. Maybe I spent more time in 5 than this one, but that's also just because 5 was more modern and there was a whole lot more shit to do.
I've
This
never
game-
replayed 5. That's like the first Metal Gear Solid game I have not replayed.
That's a good call out. I have replayed 5, but 3 I replayed multiple times. I own
Across
3 different
multiple versions,
of it.
too, yeah.
I have multiple versions of it. It was, it's one of those things where people love to shit on Kojima. In a lot of the time, he deserves it. But when this game came out, holy shit! Like, it was just so innovative. So many small, unique mechanics. So many things that made it different. Just so many of the ways you interacted. Obviously, and we can fucking talk about Metal Gear Solid for forever. But there's the whole Psycho Mantis reading your memory card. That was one of the first crazy things. But the way you could interact with the enemy, like the bosses and stuff in Metal Gear Solid 3 was so much of a step up, even from 2. Just how you could feed them poison stuff, or how you can kind of use your environment to your knowledge, or to your advantage rather. The fact that if you fucking waited long enough, one of the bosses just died. That's fucking insane. Has a game ever done something like that before?
Yeah,
This one?
I was gonna say
maybe, but
I feel like Kojima in the Metal Gear Solid era in its heyday is kind of like the way I almost look at him the kind of way I look at Miyazaki making FromSoft RPGs these days, in terms of they're just built different. You can feel it when you're playing it.
He's definitely a filmmaker at heart that's never really made. Apparently, it says my mic's doing some poppy shit.
A little bit, but it's not terrible.
Okay, sorry about that if it is. Technology is just hurting all of us tonight.
Yeah, could be Discord too.
Kojima's always wanted to make films, but he's just always stuck to video games, and he just tries to inject so much of that film style and things into his games. Obviously, more so now as of late that he's become a bigger
I
thing.
just saw
But
like him on the red carpet. It was at the Furiosa premiere, and he was
yeah.
hugging. Yeah, it's just he's all
Well,
in on
but I'm
Hollywood.
still let's going back to when this game came out in 2004. Man, like it was just so unique, and there were so many fun elements to it. And we talked about like the games kind of like changing as they go, and this game had so many just the unique areas and styles, and the whole camouflage thing was so unique for its time. The fact that you can collect all these different camo outfits and change them to hide from guards, and the way you interacted with guards. Man, the 3 was so good. And I know
To
someone
mention
had
that final
mentioned
boss fight.
yeah, the final boss fight was good.
Maybe I said it before, but I feel like Metal Gear Solid 3 more than any other Metal Gear can really benefit from some nice quality of life changes.
Oh, yeah. So going from the original game to Subsistence made a lot of improvements.
Yes.
For sure. But then modernizing it even further, I could imagine, will probably make the game so much better.
The first
because
aid
it is not
system, the camo system,
Yeah, it is definitely not a perfect game. I'm never gonna say it is. I mean, the first aid system is definitely unique. I like it. I'm sure it could probably use some improvements. But yeah, the fact that you could if you get a leech, you could burn it off with your cigar.
cool idea.
There's
You spend a lot
really
of time in
interesting-
menus, and I bet they're going to
So-
probably try to get us out of menus.
So that's what I was gonna say is that that game is super menu heavy, and it probably will still be a little menu heavy in the remake, but I think first off, it will probably be a lot quicker to access the menus. I could see them doing shortcuts for certain things. So instead of having to pull up the full menu for maybe certain healing things, you can maybe do something kind of live. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like kind of like almost like a sub menu of sorts. I could see them doing something like that. But to your point, Brad, yeah, like that game, a lot of time in menus and they could be slow. So like I said, it's not perfect. I'm not saying it is. There are not really any. I would make the argument there's no game out there that's perfect. Any game that's out, no matter how amazing it is, 10 to 10 across the boards, there's still faults. But I think this one was one of those ones that was just so unique for when it came out, and I think it holds up still. What's up, Davis?
So Konami, it was either last week or the week before, put out a developer update about the Master Collection and Delta Snake Eater, and they showed off some new screenshots of the game, specifically focused on character management with the healing and surgery stuff, and the camo index. Specifically, the camo index. It was a menu, but like you were saying,
that's
I
the
think it's
easiest
going
one
to
to
be
take out of a menu.
Yeah, it feels like that should be like something that should, like in Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2, like it should be like just a side item that you select from just holding down L1, L2. But
would be nice.
At the same time, like I agree with you. I think they're going to be very fast about it. Like you'll be able to in and out of a menu real quick.
So, but that's what I'm saying as well. Is I do think technology's come a long way, and go back and play that original Metal Gear Solid, and how long from pressing the menu button to actually getting to it, and then select. It was very slow, and I can imagine it being faster.
I think we all kind of want this
said,
to be like the Blue Point Demon Souls-esque remake. You know what I mean? Where it's just like it feels
funny you
so.
say that since Blue Point remastered Metal Gear Solid 3.
That's true. I forgot about that. I mean, but like this looks like a ground up, beautiful, one-to-one remake. Apparent as what it seems to be of Metal Gear Solid 3.
Well, not completely one-to-one, but it's not gonna have Guy Savage, but that's a legal thing. And that was once again a very unique thing from when that game came out.
It's not gonna have the apes.
And not have probably not have the apes. But that was one of those really fun things that I encountered accidentally, and that was such one of those nice things that there are so many small little just details and things and side elements that you could potentially play this game from start to finish and never see. But the fact is, if you were in that cell and you paused the game, saved it, turned it off, and came back later, you booted into a fucking different game. And that was just like an insane concept. And I, as a young kid, was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I was so
developers
confused.
You think the developers for the remake get together in a room and they're like, okay, for the next hour we just gotta think like Kojima, like what's some of the weirdest shit you can possibly imagine, and can we make it happen?
Yeah.
It would be nice if they did something like Guy Savage. I would not be mad if it's not exactly the same. I know there's some legal stuff that they can't do that, but if they were to do something similar in a different vein, I would not be upset at all because that was such a unique thing.
Well, I hope we get some news about this soon in terms of like actual release date.
Oh,
It's looking.
Could you imagine instead of because Guy Savage is like that hack and slash enemies coming at you, blah blah blah, all this stuff. Could you imagine if they did like a Ninja Raiden dream sequence? That would be fucking cool.
100%.
That would be good.
I could see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep it all under the same roof. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
And like just the idea that they're taking basically everything from every version of Snake Eater. Like they're adding in like the mobility and crouch walking of the 3DS version, which never made it into the PS2 versions. Like,
I didn't even know that existed. That's pretty cool.
yeah, that is a transformative gameplay mechanic.
Well, here's to hoping. I like I said, I hope we get a release date for that soon because it's still looking like 2024, and they're starting to show and talk about it a lot, and so like pre-orders are going up, so it feels like a pretty safe bet. I hope we learn more soon. Maybe we'll learn about it because it's a Konami thing. Maybe we'll learn more about it at like TGS or something. Who knows?
I tell you what, would be pretty fucking cool if they did their old school idea of demos to where you get Silent Hill 2 remake and you get a demo for Delta Snake Eater.
That would be quite the cross promotion there.
And one thing I will bring up real quick, just because I just remembered, I've been seeing some discourse about it, and I understand where people are coming from, and that a lot of the, it is a one-to-one remake to an extent or whatever, but one of the things that's kind of lost on it is that Kojima feel of the film aspect, and that there in the original game, there's a lot of very dynamic lighting and film grain and other things on purpose, and everything we've seen so far about this new one is it looks super clean and sharp, which kind of defies the point of that game had an aesthetic look for a reason. Don't get me wrong. Yes, I understand that it was a product of its era and it was a PS2 game and it can only do so much, but I think they use that to their benefit. And a lot of those like early scenes when you're on the plane kind of going for that first mission, has that very green hue, but the whole point of it is because they're on a plane and they can't have bright lights on because that would give their position away. So they have like the darker green lights, and so it's lit very like it looks like a film. And like all the trailers we've seen so far, it's like very bright and vibrant and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I understand that there's some people who are upset by that, and don't get me wrong, I really wish and hope maybe they are seeing some of that and they can maybe throw in a couple of quick edits before the game comes out and patch that in to some better lighting would be nice.
So to that point, like if you go to their website, they've got a bunch more information, and one of the things they talk about is legacy features. And in addition to having the old school original Snake Eater overhead camera, they're also doing like legacy camera filters for color grading and stuff like that. So they've got there's one dedicated to recreate the original look of Snake Eater.
Oh, then perfect. I'm gonna probably play the whole game with that on then.
Yeah, I mean I'm not gonna because I never liked it, but
just assuming they do, like they're not lazy, just like cash in like they actually take, because like those things, you can't just slap those things on. You like those have to be developed and like tested thoroughly. You know, you don't want it to be just a throwaway kind of thing. All right. Moving along to Chris Davis, what's your next pick?
My next pick, speaking
your next
of
controversial
games that came out
pick,
quite a while ago.
Oh my God.
I don't know if this is. I don't think this is controversial. This game makes me. I'm very excited about this. It is Life is Strange Double Exposure.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's great.
The original Life is Strange, when it came out, was my game of the year that year. I loved it. The characters and the writing were excellent. I love the story they put together. I love like the semi-psychological horror stuff that they kind of messed with at the end. Like I don't
remember. There's a lot of specifics I don't remember. Like psychological horror is not something I really remember.
Oh, when you got to the last chapter, like that's when the game just opens up and starts really fucking with you. So like it was great. And I've always had affinity for that story. One of my biggest gaming regrets is that I never went back and played Before the Storm. That's something I've been meaning to do over the years.
Shame.
I too have never played Before the Storm.
But that being said, like this is a direct sequel to that original game. Supposedly, they're being coy, but they're saying that they are honoring both endings of the original game.
That seems
Which
weird.
doesn't make sense.
It's weird because the comic book line, which is an official direct continuation of Life is Strange, goes with the Arcadia is destroyed ending. So Chloe survives. So like, I don't know how you reconcile those two things, but it's a fucking
in this
video
game
game with supernatural
one you play
powers.
as
Like you can do
Max.
whatever. You can figure out a way to
Right.
get there.
And we're talking about this because in Double Exposure you play as Max, correct?
You play as Max Cofield, the original protagonist. She's like in her early 20s, and she's going through a murder mystery with another friend of hers.
But it's a murder mystery that like takes place in like a dual parallel universe, which is honestly probably how they're going to address, but quote unquote, both endings with somehow with the parallel universe thing.
Yes, I mean that could be it. That's I had never thought of that. That is a very good point. That's probably what
I
they're
mean,
planning
that's
on
like
doing.
the whole crux is she's using her powers again for the first time since the events of the first game, and she crosses over into another universe where one of her best friends or something dies. So then she goes, or I guess she's in the universe that she's in, where one of her best friends dies. So she crosses over into an alternate universe to try
But
and
then she goes
solve
over
the mystery.
that other universe, and Chloe's alive, and she shows up all of a sudden to shock people. So like, fuck yeah, that's an exciting prospect to me.
Or it could get really messy. Let me tell you, multiverse
it could.
stuff. I'm so sad about right now. I'm not gonna
I
say
don't
why.
know.
By the way, I finished Rebirth.
Okay,
So
well,
you
we
are
talk
going
about
to
that
say
later.
it.
Yeah. So this is not being developed by Dotnod. This is Deck 9.
Which did True Colors.
Who did True Colors. They most recently did the Expanse game, which was okay. You know, it could have been a lot better
They also
with
did
what they had to
Before the
work
Storm.
with. But I will say
they
that
did do Before the Storm.
and they did
Which is
Before
good.
Storm, yeah. Like they know this format, they know these characters, they know this formula.
Unlike y'all, I'm not a poser ass Life is Strange fan. I've played also Before the Storm.
Did you play
And
True Colors? Okay.
Yes. And
Did
the
any of
DLC
us play
Wavelengths, bitch.
2?
Nobody played 2. Come on. Nobody on the planet played 2.
I don't think I've ever met one person who has said they've played through Life is Strange 2, which is weird because if you look at the reviews of that game, like it's reviewed pretty well.
Yeah.
It's which is strange.
just-
And I think I own Life is Strange 2.
Oh, I just play games as ladies, and you play as a boy. And
There it is. There it is.
There it is. This
Plays
sex
a
spread
boy.
comes
It's
out.
absurd.
But like this
Not gonna
also
play
is
as a boy. That's absurd.
but I'm also like I'm excited because of the rumors that have been going around about Deck 9 and the future of Life is Strange for a while. Because there has been it was already leaked years ago that their next Life is Strange after True Colors was going to be about Max. It's going to be a kind of return to that character and her story. But there's also talk about another Life is Strange in that this new game would feed into that, and it's going to be like an ensemble piece of those characters from 2 and True Colors coming together with Max. So
I don't know if I'm all in with Life is Strange enough to be like
I
on
like
board
Chloe.
for that.
And
But
Chloe, I'm not seeing any Chloe at all.
I mean, I think if they're going with what Nick and I just discussed.
I hate to say it, and maybe y'all need to play Before the
saved that.
Storm, but we stand
think I
Chloe. Max, she's old news. Chloe's a much better character. Sorry.
okay,
I don't know.
Point is,
Max
this
is
is
just
coming
kind
out-
of a blank, like
this
slate.
is coming out
She's not
pretty
much
soon,
of a
right?
character
Is
there.
this
I don't
August,
know.
September, or something like
I
that?
think it's October. Let me look it up real quick.
October. That would make sense too.
Nobody's
Yeah.
picked this up for Fantasy Critic, and I'm surprised, honestly. Especially
Anything could happen, baby.
Well, I'm a
Chris
little
and
low
Abby
in
over
cash right now.
okay, you only need $1.
You do only need $1 to get a
Life
game.
is Strange. October 29th.
October 20. Oh no, man! I'm gonna use this as a perfect Wait, no.
What?
I was like that's. I was thinking that like overlaps with the game I was getting ready to talk about. And I was like, well, there's no chance I'm gonna play Life is Strange at launch now. But now I realize I had the months wrong. So
Oh, you were
Did
excited
you
for
say you're not
Squirrel
going
with
to
a
play
gun?
Life is Strange at lunch? I think you
At
said
launch. At launch. Sorry, I did not mean to. If I said lunch, I apologize. Also,
because you
we'll
probably
not-
will play it at lunch.
I actually, yeah. Now that I think about it, that seems like a Steam Deck game, all the
That's
way.
when you
Be
usually
playing
do
that
your gaming anyway.
at lunch. Me?
Yeah.
I mean,
You're always talking about, oh, I got in 30 minutes with XYZ during my lunch break.
but like, I play a lot. I play a lot of games, man, and it's not all on Steam. Anyways, my second pick for the evening is a game that's another one that's, in fact, now that I think about it, all three of my picks I'm super fucking excited for, but all three have reason to be suspect potentially. Stalker 2: Heart of Chernobyl. I am getting so excited about the closer we get to the release of this game. And I know there's a lot of stuff because Chris Davis has talked about it a lot. This is not the same. Is it GSW? What is
GSC Game World.
GSC Game World? Thank you. I can never remember the acronym. GSC Game World. Obviously, not the same studio, right? So you're not. But at the same time, like, I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing because Stalker as a series has always been one of those games where it's like, it's really cool, it's got a really strong following, but it's also kind of this imperfect thing, and it's like, it's got great vibes, great atmosphere, but it's also kind of janky and imperfect is the best way to put it. So like, to see another studio step in, hopefully elevate it, modernize it, make it more stable, or more, I mean, stable isn't the right word, make it just more of a cohesive product, I think, that easier to play, easier to step into, while at the same time, like, really, like, when we talked about this a couple weeks ago, like, it was playable at Summer Game Fest, and there was a lot of preview coverage out there, and people were talking about how it's hard and it's very survival-esque, and the people who are Stalker fans really appreciate that. But I didn't really hear a lot of people saying stuff about it being, janky or hard to play or feeling unpolished. It's just a hard game, and I've always been kind of fascinated by that setting, that time, that the history behind all that stuff, and how they've kind of turned it into this like fictional universe, kind of, and like it's just super neat. So I'm hoping, and it's me, I love open world stuff, and it seems like it's going to be leaning more into like
Correction.
What?
Western made open worlds, Nick.
Western made open world, yes. But hey, the game looks fucking. It's got like all the elements that people who have played Stalker like really look for. It's got the fucking like using the weird stuff, like picking up the like the nuts and bolts and using it to throw at like anomalies.
That is very Stalker.
And like you see all these crazy weather effects and
don't let Chris Davis get you down about, hey, it's not the original developer.
Well, I'm not letting him.
Y'all just got through talking about Deck 9, which took over for Life is Strange.
I'm just saying, and Chris Davis is right. Like, they don't have a track record here, so it's like the only reason we're suspicious of it is because they've never made a game like this before.
Yeah. So
they're unproven.
Let me spell out my apprehensions about this.
Wait, you literally did that last episode. I will say that.
No, I briefly talked about it. Like, let me spell it out. Give you 30 seconds. Okay. GSC Game World is owned by a guy named Sergey.
Sorry, you do sound really robot-y right now.
Yeah.
The Russians are trying to stop you.
Oh, that's what's happening. It's the Russians. GSC Game World was founded by a guy named Sergey Grigorovich, and they started on the original Stalker 2 back in 2009. In 2011, he shut down the entire studio for quote-unquote personal reasons. So, and he only brought back the studio to start on Stalker 2 again 3 years later. So all that personnel, they're gone. So this is a brand new studio.
But Grigorovich is still there?
Yeah. So this guy who laid off all these people arbitrarily for unknown reasons, like, decides to restart the studio and restart development on this game, which is
weird.
And it's not the same concept as the original Stalker 2 either. So
right.
I don't know. I need to sit down and play this game in order to be sold on it.
There we go. Well, you'll get your chance soon. You do sound like a robot. Not sure what's going on, but hey, it's got mad vibes, and it looks absolutely stunning to play. It's and I feel like the last game that kind of gave me these vibes was Atomic Heart, where I would like watch footage. I'm like, this isn't a real game. This looks too good to be true. And then for me, it just kind of blew my socks off. And that's kind of how I'm hoping how this turns out as well. So.
Are you not wearing your shoes in that situation? Because I feel like if your socks came off your feet while you're still wearing your shoes, that's even more mind blowing.
I don't know how to answer that. I didn't really give it that much thought.
He could be wearing sandals.
And
the socks just kind of slip through the sandals.
That's true. Okay, real quick, before I pass it over to Brad for the next one, just a couple highlights from the community thread in our Discord at discord.gg/4Player. I think this is Drunken Merchant. I think he says Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero, though he does not give a reason. But we got some Dragon Ball love there. Someone says Aptum says I really hope Avowed kicks ass. And Cheese Kid says Marvel vs. Capcom collection is hype as fuck because it was deemed impossible by people in the know for years now. The relationship with Marvel ever since Disney got involved has been troubled to say the least. Nobody thought this was possible, and we were all under the impression these games would never be available again. So to have not just Marvel vs. Capcom 2, but all the Marvel vs. Capcom collection plus the Punisher game on modern platforms is just wild. That is true. That is true. I kind of forgot all those little details there at the end. That's a good point. If y'all want to share, I'll highlight a few more before we end the show tonight, either in Twitch chat or in the Discord thread in the feedback channel. I'll read some more off. But anyways,
before we move on, why don't we go ahead and take a little break so I can check out my audio, and then we can come back with the different ones.
Damn it, we are cursed to do 2 segments. All right, we'll be right back.
Ordered.
That's
okay. Bye.
Damn it. I almost got away with it too.
I mean, hey, blame fucking Discord. I'm trying to figure this shit out.
What?
I feel like I'm not blaming Discord.
Well, I mean, I'm going to listen to my audio real quick and we'll find out whether it's good.
Very robot-y right now.
Yeah, very robot-y. Are we calling this 790? What is this?
801.
801.
801. Holy shit.
801.
I'm way off.
I thought last time this happened, it was your NVIDIA fucking sound thing.
I think that might be accurate, actually.
We'll find out.
I'm going to get some more water. Be right back.
I'm probably going to get some more water, too.
I have a day off tomorrow where I'm going to go to take the kids to the dentist and then the doctor and then 3 appointments and it sucks.
Okay, let's see here.
No Fantasy Critic updates.
Before we move on, why don't we go ahead and take a little break so I can check out my audio?
What's there to say?
And then we can come back with it.
Ed swooped in, picked up 3 games. I think Neva was a bait, or he changed his mind about it and was hoping somebody else picked it up.
So
I think it is a good pickup, and I kind of regret not throwing $2 at it. I tried to get Dragon Quest.
GSC Game World was founded by a guy.
I think that was a good pickup. I expect maybe mid-80s for that. Same with Neva. Neva might go higher. The thing is, the ceiling for a game like Neva is high because it is really beautiful.
And she shows up all of a sudden to shock people.
I think Greece is already like mid-80s.
Yeah, that's an exciting prospect.
And I feel like Neva, and it I said, there's a lot of like love for that game. And I feel like Neva, and it has an animal in it, like the kind of beautiful, simple indie games that score really well. Like this is absolutely. See, but you say it's gonna do like an 83. What? But like, I'm saying it has the potential to do like a fucking 90 because it is a simple, beautiful game, and if like it emotionally connects with people, the music is nice, it looks beautiful enough. Like the potential is there, Like there's not much gonna get in the way of that game potentially reaching those highs.
What are we talking about?
It's a good pickup. Neva.
Oh, Neva.
I think it might not ship this year though.
Never.
But I don't know. Gamescom's coming up. Stuff's gonna get more dates. But yeah, like there's combat. Certain critical score it lower because it's not hate. No. I mean, you gotta think eco, right? Like it doesn't. We're more like the people are ready. All that game has to do is be gorgeous, have an animal, and tell like a really like powerful story. Like it doesn't have to be Hades. It's already fucking gorgeous. Jeff Keighley himself said the combat. Oh man. Very briefly, he said something about the combat after that trailer at the SGF. I don't know. I mean, I'm saying the potential is there. Like I the potential is there in a way that it's not for a lot of indie games. You could throw many indie games at me, and there's no world where they could be awesome, right? Like Steam World Heist 2. It's going to be a great game. Everyone knows it. Previews are glowing, but like a game like that doesn't score 90 plus. It just doesn't. And no world can it score 90 plus. But Neva, because it's beautiful and emotional and original, it has that potential. You know what I mean? Will it? I mean, maybe not. Maybe it scores around mid 80s, like I'm expecting. But it has potential in a way that a lot of indies do not. Like, I don't think World of Goo can hit 90 plus necessarily, even though the original did. I think most indie sequels are not going to, unless they are literal goated. Like, obviously, Silk Song will, Hades 2 will, right? But that is a rarity. It's going to get indie text, but Neva. But see, Neva, if they're trying to do a journey, and their first go around scored well, and I think this has the potential to. The potential's there. The potential's there.
Real.
It was a good pickup. Now, I can't say the same about Flintlock. I think that was maybe a mistake of a pickup. I hope that one's good.
Yeah, I wonder if he played the demo and then made that decision, or if that was just kind of a.
No, I mean maybe, but like obviously that's a game with risk, and risk where a lot of certain games don't really have risk. Dragon Quest I think is a strong pickup, and I did try to pick it up because it is a very beloved classic RPG. It is also an NES game. It's also old as fuck, and like the new coat of paint is going to be nice, and there's a little bit of quality of life stuff in there, but it's still going to feel kind of old, and some people are going to be on board for that. They're going to be like, this is a 10 out of 10. Some people are going to be like, oh, this is old fucking RPG NES game. It's a 7,
Hey, when does
I could see that landing around the mid 80s. Yeah, honestly.
When does Zenless Zone 0 come out?
I don't know why.
Because I feel like it's supposed to, I feel like it's been coming out for like a month, and I keep like checking.
It's a service game. I mean, you can't. Butters, come here. Did you counter that?
No, but it's on I think Ed's list, and I'm like, I was like, that was the next major release I think of. Oh, it comes out tomorrow.
High five.
You worried about Ed?
High five.
No, I'm just keeping an eye on everybody's list.
Comes out tomorrow. I mean that has potential, of course. I mean it's the next big game from the Genshin Impact people. So Genshin Impact scored well. So did
oh my god! Suddenly we can see everything. Oh!
So did what was their other game after Genshin? The fucking Star Rail. Star Rail.
Come here.
Butters, we demand an appearance.
Butters, come here.
Honkai Star Rail.
Come here.
Honkai Star Rail did well too, so ZZZ looks good.
There he is.
Come here.
Do you even have anything in your
Testing, 1, 2,
hand?
test.
Yeah, a little
Testing,
tiny
Oh.
treat,
speaking
like a
of the
little, like a tiny milk bone.
I thought you were doing
1, 2,
that thing where
test,
sometimes
test.
people trick their dogs into thinking they're
No,
giving them something.
I do not do that. Bernadette
Testing, 1,
does that
2,
shit
test,
all
test,
the
test.
time. I do not
Testing,
trick my
speaking
dogs.
of the mic.
If they think they're going to get a
Testing, 1,
treat,
2,
it
test,
means
test,
they are
test.
going to get a treat.
Testing, speaking of the mic.
Like the other day when we were going somewhere, we try to not make it obvious when we're about to leave the house. Obviously, kind of hard to do. You got to like close certain doors and stuff. But we were about to leave, and they were kind of being chill. And then she was like, "All right, be good, boys," and they both got super excited. And I'm like, "You basically said like, let's go, boys." It's like basically the same thing to them.
Yep.
It's like boys, like they heard, like dogs don't speak English, so they both got all excited, and I was like, "Why would you say that?" Like, and so then they got super disappointed when we closed the door and we left. But they got over it.
I'm ready. Right
I've been
now, you
recording for 8
sound
minutes.
pretty good.
There you go.
My God, I think he fixed it.
It is often ports, cables, stuff like that.
If it doesn't work in the front, stick it in the back.
Yep.
Get it?
Bog Noise says you're muted on the stream, Chris Davis.
Does he? I have my doubts. Are we all muted on the stream?
Oh God.
Mm-hmm. Bog Noise says just Chris Davis.
You hear me now? Testing 1, 2, chat. Okay, all right.
I am recording.
Starting the OBS recording. Starting my Audacity recording.
All right.
You when it comes time for you to mix the audio for me, I might have slightly louder levels in this version compared to the first pack.
Fine.
So
I mean, I don't base the second. I do it. I treat everything as a whole new audio file when I go to the second segment. So I edit them separately and then do a third edit where I combine everything. So it's fine.
Okay, just making certain.
All right, Brad, if you've really been recording for 8 minutes, stop it and restart it.
I already did.
Okay. Then roll call starts now. Brad.
Yep.
Nolan.
This is Nolan, and I'm doing my roll call for the second part of the podcast.
And Chris Davis.
I am doing my roll call for the second part of the podcast. This is Chris.
Welcome back to the weekly top 5, top 3 video game podcast. I'm Brad, and my number 1 most anticipated game of the year. We are on me, right? We are on
yes,
me.
we are. Yes, that was great. I didn't have to do anything. Fantastic. Take it away.
It's going. Look. Cut me some slack. It's a combo. But they look. No, these games
this man
are in conversation with each other. Let me explain.
I don't even. Okay. Yeah, please do.
They are very,
we don't even know what you're talking about yet.
It is the head-to-head bout of Avowed versus Dragon Age 4. The Velguard. Look, they're both.
But which
big,
one in your heart do you think is
they're
going to be
both
better?
Big. That's the thing. It is the fight where my heart is. Where my heart is. Does that make
just
sense?
Can't play by the rules.
No, it doesn't.
No, it's my heart that is in this fight because, my brain says Avowed, I feel like, but my heart is saying Dragon Age. Now, the thing is, infamously, I'm very skeptical of modern BioWare. Skeptical of this Dragon Age game. The reveal had a lot of things that made me very unhappy. Even though I'm being gaslit into believing that I should have expected exactly those things. Not by just y'all, trust me.
But you are including us.
And I feel like the story behind this Dragon Age game is like so much more like exciting for better or worse. Like there are some people who are like, already like warring against this game, modern BioWare or whatever, yada yada yada. Some people who are already calling it game of the year. I just want to be happy as a Dragon Age fan,
Naturally.
I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. But Avowed, on the other hand, this is Obsidian. Obsidian, they're trusty. They're tried and true. They ship games. They ship good games. They have good writers. You know what I like? Me some fantasy RPGs. And while if you look at their stuff maybe in the past decade, one of the ones that people liked when it came out, it scored well, was Outer Worlds. But it was the one kind of like, looking back, they're like, maybe that was only okay. The truth is, I feel like Avowed is sort of their fantasy take on that sort of more manageable RPG. It's like Skyrim but more manageable, just like Outer Worlds was Fallout but more manageable. But here's the thing. Fallout's lame. And I think people realized that it was kind of lame when Outer Worlds came out. It's fine. Outer Worlds is Fallout's fine, but I feel like Outer Worlds did seem like let's just do Fallout in space since we don't have the Fallout license anymore and we can't make like New Vegas or whatever. So we're just going to do Fallout in space. And at the time, people were very excited that they were doing a Fallout knockoff because everyone hated Fallout at the time because of Fallout 76 and Bethesda. It boosted Outer Worlds into like excitement. I feel like Avowed is going very under the radar. I feel like there's not a lot of excitement, and I feel like people are underestimating Obsidian.
I'm still kind of shocked it doesn't have a release date.
I feel like you shouldn't underestimate Obsidian. Well, it's 2024, and the most recent trailer, which was recent, said 2024.
I know. I thought for sure we would get.
Well, there are certain games that are not going to like set their release dates in stone because
until they see where everybody else falls.
Yeah, they want to see where everybody else is going to be. You know what I mean? Because that really does change things, and it should change things. I don't think that Microsoft should release Avowed the same week that Dragon Age comes out. I think Dragon Age, even though like people's trust might not be there yet, I think it would stomp all over Avowed in terms of sales. I think Avowed would go super under the radar, and I worry for Obsidian.
I think that's fair.
The thing is, while Outer Worlds was sort of like this silly fucking world or whatever, of like a Fallout knockoff, like Avowed, say what you will, is still like based on a world and lore and setting of Pillars of Eternity, which they made 2 games and 2 extremely well received games that are very loved. And I didn't finish the second one, but I did play through the first one, and it's rock solid stuff. It really is. They know writing, they know characters, and in that most recent deep dive, like I think it's going to be a fun fantasy RPG with good characters, good writing, and it seems like they've been really trying hard to make sure that the combat is actually fun. I think it's going to be Skyrim combat, but you know what? Kind of fun. Where Skyrim combat was sometimes not very fun. I don't know. I think one is like super high profile and controversial, and one's going under the radar. And I think in my world, they both come out on top. I think by the end of this year, we could be playing 2 top-notch RPGs, and this is why I look at the rest of 2024 and say, unlike Chris Davis over here, there's like tons of cool shit that's coming out. And I think these 2 are going to be 2 of the major reasons why 2024 is fucking amazing. I think 2024 in a lot of ways is just has been and will be just as good as 2023. Honestly.
All good points. But Brad, if you had to pick one,
it is the battle The battle of Avowed versus Dragon
the battle
Age
is not a game.
the Western RPG, Obsidian versus BioWare. They've been there before. You know, we're talking KOTOR 1 versus KOTOR 2 here, right?
He said his heart.
They've
He said his heart
Neverwinter
was with
Nights
Dragon
versus the
Age.
Neverwinter Night expansions. You know,
Where do
like,
I go on
BioWare
Amazon
lost that.
to add one thing to my cart? That is this game.
The
That's your
battle,
choice.
the narrative.
You can only have
I'm
one thing for
I'm
Christmas,
looking at it on
Brad.
Amazon right now, and it's not showing up. The battle, the narrative, Dragon Age, Avowed.
Well,
is not
like I
showing
said,
up.
my brain says Avowed because I don't think anyone's brain should be trusting in BioWare right now.
He's trying to get two Christmas
I
presents.
hope they prove us all wrong. I hope BioWare proves us they can still make a fucking good game, and I hope Obsidian proves us that we're stupid for ignoring theirs because they're Obsidian and they make good fucking RPGs. People forget, man. People forget.
I think that's the closest we're gonna get to an honest to God choice here. So
Remember their South Park game? That shit is fucking goated, man. They're really
He's not wrong.
like they made that Pentiment game, which people were saying like, "Damn, this shit rocks." They even made that stupid Honey I Shrunk the Kids game, which, by the way, was dope.
Grounded. It's called Grounded, actually.
Speaking of grounded, I would say Obsidian is very well rounded. Am I right?
Speaking of grounded, you're grounded, Brad. You'd never get to do this again. You've
That's
lost
better.
all your
That's
top 3
better.
privileges. All
Better
right,
transition.
Nolan. I know your list is not quote unquote ordered, but what's your final pick?
Correct. It's not ordered. But my final pick for the most anticipated for the rest of 2024 goes to a little game that's not a new IP. It is a sequel, but it is not a 20-year-old game that is a sequel to. It is only
The longer you drag
like
this out, you're
5 or
frozen.
6 years old. Oh, I am?
Yeah.
As you're
I
changing your
frozen.
background and your
frozen because it's Frostpunk 2!
Oh my god.
Oh, wow.
So very excited for Frostpunk 2. Was a huge fan of Frostpunk. Anybody who played it knows how much that game was phenomenal in the sense that it took the style of game but added a whole new layer onto it with the decisions you had to make. Every decision you made in that world felt like it impacted something. It wasn't
true.
about like, oh, we need to mine more Vespane gas. It was a, hey, am I going to make these little children go and work as day laborers, or do I let them play and be kids? One of them gets me more resources. One of them makes everyone very upset with me.
But why wasn't that a tough decision for you, Nick? I mean, Nolan, you always seem so delighted when you implemented child labor.
Hey, I always did, but it was temporary. I always reverted back after just a little while. I just needed them to just pick a little coal with their tiny fingers.
I just needed them to do their chores, quote unquote. That's
His
all.
brain said child labor, but his heart said only for a little bit.
But yeah, no, I did, whenever it came to having to make a new decision in that game, I always labor, but I labored over those decisions. It was never a quick, I'm definitely going to go down this route. They were always tough. And you had your weather forecast, so when storms are approaching, and you have to prepare for them. And so it's like, I know we've been on 8-hour shifts today, boys, but we're gonna bump it up to like maybe 16-hour shifts for the next couple of days because we are falling behind. It was stressful but fun at the same time. It had great music. That campaign itself was really good. Some pretty good DLC. All of that being said, because I've obviously been speaking just a whole lot about Frostpunk 1 right now, for those who've never played it, it's on sale right now for a whopping $3.
Ooh,
it is
I can afford
90%
that.
off. 90% off, or if you want the Game of the Year edition, everything included, everything is like $10. Both of those very much worth it for a fantastic game. Now this one, they're switching it up. The big thing in the original Frostpunk was the heart of your city was your hub unit, which produced that warmth, and everyone had to kind of stay around it until you built smaller things to provide warmth to your citizens around. if that went out, then everyone died. So you had to make sure that was maintenance kept up with. But anyway, everything based on coal. 2 is oil. So they're switching things up. So I'm pretty sure that's going to add a whole lot more mechanics, a whole lot more things that can potentially go wrong. So I'm very much looking forward to see what's in store and the tough decisions I'm going to have to make. This citizen stole some food. What are you going to do with them? Kill them
What
to
are you
make an
gonna do with
example
him,
out of
Nolan?
them.
Send
Banish
their
them in
children to
oil?
the mines, maybe.
Yeah.
You got to watch some
Yeah.
There Will Be Blood right before you start Frostpunk 2 to really get in the mood.
Learn a little more about drainage and milkshakes. Yeah, no. For those who've never played Frostpunk, I promise you, it is a whole lot of fun. Like I said, the music very much gets you in the mood for the game. And I love the tone that it sets. And oh, man.
Apparently,
It's
it's
weird
coming
it's
to
coming
Game
out in the
Pass?
summertime. I feel like this should be a winter release, but hey.
I mean, I guess so. I think August, right? Next month, I think.
I think so, yeah.
That's getting close to winter. But
Quote unquote,
yeah,
yes.
that's true. But yeah, it's one of those things where I'm honestly debating on in the next few weeks here picking back up Frostpunk and playing it a little bit to get me in the mood because it's gonna be so much fun. Definitely looking forward to it.
This is one of those games that I always thought looked really cool, but man, it looks so stressful.
It
is
can be, but
stressful.
it's stressful, but it's fun at the same time. And it's also one of those things where, depending on how you play it, even if you fail, it's not like you're not going to lose like 40 hours of progress or something like that. It's well, you might fail to complete the level or the thing that you're doing, but it's only like maybe a couple hours. And now you've learned and you can kind of reapproach the next situation knowing, oh, next time I'm going to do this differently and stuff. I never felt like when I failed, I never was like, oh, this game was bullshit. That's why I failed. I always realized, oh, I tried to be too either too aggressive or I didn't plan accordingly.
Right.
So I don't know. Definitely fun.
Cool. Well, yeah, maybe this is the one. I didn't realize it's coming to Game Pass too, which is kind of neat. Kind of neat. But you know what? I might pick up Frostpunk 1 on $3. I can afford $3.
Yeah, $3 is not bad.
All right, Chris Davis, what's your third and final pick?
My third and final pick is from a studio that's become close to my heart. That is Machine Games' Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
Still a dumb name. Still a dumb name, but I hope it's good.
I mean, yeah.
They've become close to your heart? Haven't they always been close to your heart since they announced?
I mean, the minute I got to experience Wolfenstein: The New Order in 2014, like, yeah.
Are you?
They just
I don't know if I
died
ever asked this. Are you a big Escape from Butcher Bay fan?
Yeah, Escape from Butcher Bay and the Assault on Dark Athena. Yeah, those are great.
Okay.
Wait,
also
just
like the Darkness
It goes all the way back, right?
Yeah.
Okay, wait, back up.
Nick, you knew
What's the connection there?
Machine Games, they were founded by ex-Starbreeze devs.
Oh,
they're basically those, but they're basically those people, like that team, pretty much.
That makes a lot of sense to me, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can
I loved
see a lot of DNA.
I loved Butcher Bay and Dark Athena.
And the
Mostly
Darkness.
Butcher Bay. And the Darkness.
And Darkness is fucking great. One day we'll get a Darkness 3. Conclude that story. But yeah.
Not gonna happen.
Like, you gotta hold out hope, man. That cliffhanger for 2 was incredible. Anyway,
Indiana
Machine Games
Jones
knows exactly what they're doing. And here's the thing. I took some time to think about it. And I realized that some of the best parts about their games over the past 10 years have been the moments where combat's not happening. Like, so many moments in the New Order, the Old Blood, and the New Colossus of Wolfenstein in which you're just sitting there and you're having a conversation, like an interactive conversation, are just some of the most tension-focused, like, unbelievable. Just like I don't even want to say anything. I just want to absorb.
I feel like there were
this
some
moment.
moments. Yeah, there were some moments, kind of like what you're describing, the heavy, tense dialogue that made me think of like, oh my god, what's the fucking movie I'm thinking of with Brad Pitt where he's in killing Nazis? Oh my
Inglourious
god,
Bastards?
Glorious Bastards?
Inglorious Bastards. Thank you. Like,
Yeah.
there were several like Inglorious Bastards-esque like.
I mean,
moments
my
throughout
brain
those games.
doesn't go there immediately, but I see the parallel. But like that's the thing is that like Indiana Jones, that franchise is filled with quite a bit of this. It's a lot of just good guys talking to bad guys in slow moments before the actions break out. And that appears to be what they're doing with it with the most recent trailer. Like it was a gameplay segment, and like half of that trailer was just him interacting with these Nazi assholes who found this submarine in the Himalayas. Something I think taken directly out of Uncharted, but that's a whole other conversation. Like it's just I want those moments again. And it's still going to be a while before I get Wolfenstein 3 because it's happening and I need it in my life before I die. But in the meantime, I've got an Indiana Jones game that is going to fill a need for a while.
Gonna fill a need. Yeah, no, Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones is like one of the, it's one of those properties like when you're watching when you're having fun, whether it's one of the good ones or one of the bad ones, like you're having fun. And I don't know. I my hope here is that when this game comes out, I hope it has good puzzles, because I feel like kind of at the heart of Indiana Jones is solving these weird obtuse puzzles and stuff.
Going into tombs and everything. The rumor is that like the tutorial for the game is the opening tomb from Rares of the Lost Ark, so it teaches you the mechanics and you learn everything in there, including the puzzles and stuff. So like that's exciting, but like I think they have had enough time to develop this that I think we could get something really fucking cool.
Cool. I mean, I've said it before. I'll say it again. Every time I watch footage of this game, I'm kind of like, I'm smiling, but I'm also thinking to myself, God, they just don't make games like this anymore. They don't make these like kind of weird first-person, third-person amalgamation licensed movie tie-in. Not even movie tie-in, but like licensed off of a movie property type games where they're using like actors' likenesses and stuff. It's just they don't make them like that anymore. It's weird, but it's cool. Like it's
the last one I remember, I feel like, is Escape from Butcher Bay.
Escape from Butcher Bay.
Yeah, and that was terrible.
What?
What?
Wait, what are you talking? You just said.
What are you talking about? Escape from Butcher Bay is a great game.
Brad,
I'm kidding. I love Escape from Butcher Bay. I'm saying, yes,
but you're making it sound.
I'm
like
saying I'm saying the likeness and the license shouldn't worry you because Machine Games has been there before.
It doesn't worry me. That's what my point is. I'm excited. They don't make games like this anymore. It seems like a type of game that hasn't been around since the PS3, Xbox 360 era, and that in and of itself is kind of a weird, exciting.
I think it's because it's Indiana Jones, and it just feels like an IP. I feel like all their video game outings have felt very licensed gamey.
I don't think Wolfenstein felt very licensed.
No. Indiana Jones is an IP that feels like licensed, classic licensed.
I was
game.
taken aback when I realized they were using Harrison Ford's likeness. I was like, I mean, I know
that's what's your biggest hang up.
So I think the problem is it's a hard medium to transfer into a game. Like it sounds so, oh yeah, it's like Uncharted or Tomb Raider, but it's not, because people don't like watching Indiana Jones because he's jumping from yellow rock to yellow rock and pushing a pillar onto a stone to open a door. That's not why people watch the Indiana Jones movies. And so I could easily see this just being not capturing the spirit. Yes, it uses the names and maybe some similar nods to the movies, but I could see this very much.
I mean, the last thing they showed was a very long, like cutscene like interaction between Indiana Jones and like the villain and stuff. And I'm gonna be honest, that felt pretty authentic Indiana Jones to me. But I'm not.
Well,
like,
that's what I'm saying. I could see the Uncharted-esque cutscenes that make those games fun, like being good, but the gameplay
like in the
itself,
moment to moment, yeah.
Yeah, I could see. I think they maybe got a little hope from Uncharted 4 with the grappling hook, like, oh, it's just like his whip, and he's gonna use his whip to swing around levels and stuff like that.
That whip could make or break the gameplay. We'll see what happens.
Absolutely could. Yeah.
Bog Noise in chat says it's coming. That genre that I was talking about, it's coming back. We're also getting that Bond game from IO.
That's true.
The reason I don't really think that's going to be the same thing is because I don't think the Bond we're going to get in that IO interactive game is going to be Daniel Craig. I don't think it's going to look like any actual person who's played James Bond.
But
I
if
feel
it
like
did, you'd be saying the same shit. I feel like it's the likeness that's throwing you off.
I mean, considering that there's been like 7 different actors for James Bond at this point, like
they're not going to use it. They're just like they're making a game about the character.
There's 60 years of this franchise that they could do stuff off of. Like
it's gonna be like a.
Can you imagine if it was based off like the 60s films in terms of like camp and scope and everything they're doing? Like they could pull off like doing fucking Moonraker if they wanted.
Who's the new James Bond?
We don't know yet.
They haven't selected
still Daniel Craig.
It's literally no. We don't know who the new James
he's
Bond
done. Because for a while it just felt like he was hanging on like, you know, little RBG, to be honest. I mean, like let it go. You know.
What? Well, that was
never mind.
No,
Ruth Bader Ginsburg?
I agree, never mind.
I was like, wait, what?
Okay.
Bigger fish to fry here.
Okay. I guess it's my turn. My final pick for the night is a game I've said multiple times this year is my most anticipated game of the year, and it has been pretty much since the first time we glimpsed it. And I know this is also one of those games that could go sideways. Who knows? But Star Wars Outlaws is a game that speaks to me on so many levels, and it's especially coming off of last year's Star Wars Jedi Survivor, which got me back into the world of Star Wars in a really what?
I'm just kidding.
God damn it, Brad! You're just on a roll. No, Star Wars Jedi Survivor got me back into Star Wars in a really big way, more so than anything Disney has done with Star Wars, pretty much ever. And it, got back into reading the books, watching the shows, and then Andor blew up, and I loved that. It's just there's something about that universe that I've always loved, and I've been waiting for so long. What?
Was it Darth Vader who blew up Andor? You said Andor blew up.
You know how to derail a conversation.
I didn't watch that show.
You should watch Andor for the love of God.
Is that a planet? Is Andor a planet? Because you said Andor blew up. I don't actually know. I don't know Andor.
The show Andor blew up.
I know. I watched the first episode. I'm saying I still don't know what Andor is. Is it a person?
It's a planet? It's the protagonist of the show. His name is Andor.
I know. It just sounds like a planet. Okay.
It does sound like a planet. Anyways,
well, that's because the planet they blow up in the original film is Alderaan. So, yeah, sounds kind of simple.
Oh, and Endor as well.
Endor.
Look. There's some reasons to be skeptical here. This is massive entertainment, right? They're more known for games like The Division, Avatar, which I hear good things about, and I still actually am interested in playing. I'm just not as into that property as Star Wars, obviously, but like just the conceit of being able to walk around the Star Wars universe on such a large scale. Obviously, open world games mean a lot to me, and I know there's going to be some. I feel like a lot of people have really unrealistic expectations when it comes to games like this, where like they talk about planet hopping and getting in a ship and flying into the atmosphere, and then just flying to another planet. It's just it never works out the way people want it to. So I think I'm trying to set my expectations realistic. But if I can run around a huge planet, and do all this stuff out in an open world, get on my ship, fly into space, and fly around a little bit before it loads me out, and then I go to another planet, like that's totally fine to me. I'm not trying to get honed in on this like idea that I can somehow fly from planet to planet without any loading.
How much planetary travel you think there's going to be?
I mean, you're gonna probably
Not
go around.
like interplanetary travel. Like how much surface travel do you think there's going to be in this game? And how do you think they block it off?
I do honestly feel like it's probably going to be a little similar to Starfield in that you're flying down into like these big open zones on certain planets, and that's the space in which you can explore and then fly out into space. And then at some point, you are triggering a thing that will take you out into like light speed, and then you travel to another planet. Like that's what I'm expecting, and I feel like that's kind of the realistic.
I'm a little worried. I mean, do you think you're going to be like fast traveling back to, the spaceport, so then you can take the ship out into space? I mean,
you know me, I try not to fast travel ever. So, I mean, but like there's going to be fast travel between planets because that's just the way you're going to have to travel from planet.
It's going to be faster than light travel.
Yes.
No, I'm saying like you're not just going to be able to hop in it's not No Man's Sky. You're not going to be able to hop in a ship where you are and fly into space. You're probably going to have to
you have to go to a spaceport. Probably.
Spaceport.
Yeah.
No, there's going to be.
It's a cutscene that separates the surface from the space, right? I mean, like once you're not going to fly your ship while you're on the surface.
Probably not.
The clouds are a loading layer, but you're always going to go to the same map. You're never going to go to somewhere else on another part of the planet.
But I'm saying once you get in your ship,
this is what I'm talking about, guys. Like the conversation is already being dominated by this shit. Like I'm so tired of this conversation. It's an open world game that takes place in a Star Wars universe. There are multiple planets you're going to explore, big open spaces on each one of these planets. Like I don't really, as long as I can freely roam those spaces and interact with the people in the Star Wars universe.
I'm just curious how freely it's going to be.
But like,
I think you got to think of it this way.
Just like. I'm just so past caring.
It's a conundrum, though. No, this is not about space travel. Like traversing the surface of a planet. That's a conundrum. That's something that hasn't been figured out. It's the thing that Starfield convinced us they had figured out, and they didn't.
You're gonna be flying around. You're gonna be traveling along the surface on like speeder bikes and like riding on the backs of like creatures and shit. Like
I'm just curious what the limit of that is, especially when there's multiple planets.
Yeah, Cheese Kid says you can't fly in atmosphere.
I know that, but I'm actually talking about like you hop on a speeder bike. Are you eventually going to hit some like you got to turn around?
Well, yeah, of course, 100%. Eventually, but those spaces are going to be huge. Like at some point, of course, you're going to hit a wall. It's not like you can travel. You can just drive in any given direction and drive around an entire planet. Especially like some of those planets are fucking enormous. That wouldn't even make sense.
Do these people have like storytelling chops, this developer?
Are we like happy ask Chris Davis about? I mean, like people like the Division for the story, right? I mean, like they built lore, but like they're also working within an established universe.
Yeah,
like you're playing a character in this. You're playing a character that doesn't really get a kind of character that doesn't get a lot of.
There's a Disney Bible that they have to adhere to for lore, so they can't go fully creative because everything has to be canon now.
Everything has to be approved, but like
Okay, so Division 1 and 2, they do some fun things with the narrative. It's not explicitly mind-blowing, but those games are more about
the original universe. Like they created their own Bible, right? Like
yes,
they're given the pieces that they had to play with here, and then use that to make a story. Yeah. And not to mention, like I'm sure there's people that were brought on specifically to work on this game that didn't have anything to do with, the Division or whatever. Like people that brought on with more experience working within like an established lore, right? There's so many different variables.
I do hope it's good. I just feel like coming out of SGF, people are just kind of like shrugging a little bit.
Well, I mean, I also feel like there's kind of a built-in shrug to it because it's Ubisoft, right? And whatever, I get it. I still love me a good Far Cry game. I still love me a good Assassin's Creed game when they are good.
Yeah, but see, like if it's Far Cry and Assassin's Creed level, that's pretty impressive for Star Wars. I'm just hoping it's more of that and less Avatar. That would be a bummer.
Well, I mean, say that, but like Avatar, I think that Avatar game did not review poorly. I think a lot of it,
from what I understand, both people who played it and the review scores, it's a quote unquote mid. Like that was the takeaway from what I understand.
Feel like whatever. See, this is
I'm saying I want more than mid for this game, and I really hope it is.
I absolutely do too, but I feel like there's going to be a lot of people who are going to call it mid no matter what because it's Ubisoft, because it's an open world Ubisoft game. Whatever.
Yeah,
That's neither here nor there. The reasons
that's a
I'm
different
excited
thing.
for it is because you're playing as like a Han Solo-esque kind of like scoundrel character. It's focused on like criminal organizations scattered throughout the universe. You're not concerned with Jedis and lightsabers. I'm sure there will be a lightsaber somewhere in this game. Obviously, it's Star Wars, but like that is not the forefront, the focus of this game. And that doesn't happen. You don't see that happen a lot in Star Wars.
This kind of fascinates me because I see that take more and more. Just get rid of the lightsabers. Get rid of the lightsabers. I want a story without lightsabers. But like also those are the same people who pop boners when like she does pull out a lightsaber. You know what I mean? I'm serious. I am serious. Those same fucking people are like, I just want stories without lightsabers. But when they do,
look. I think what people.
I still like lightsabers. I was just lying.
Look, I think what people are saying is they want stories where the Jedi aren't the most important thing. Where you're not seeing a Jedi.
Kyle Katarn eventually got a lightsaber, and people seem pretty pleased.
Sure, but like
that was also over 20 years ago.
If you play a game and if you play a Star Wars game and you go 20 hours without seeing a Jedi or a lightsaber, and then a character shows up and boom, busts out a lightsaber, that's kind of that can be kind of a wild moment depending on how it's executed, right? Like I don't think people really have anything against lightsabers or Jedi for the most part. It's just for such a rich universe, it's just like all they seem to focus on. So it's nice when they don't, and that's what they seem to be going for here.
I mean, my complaint is that like I just want a Star Wars war game, and we don't get a lot of that. Like,
well, that's not what
Battlefront.
This is.
What are you talking about? Battlefront is literally a Star Wars war game.
No, but like something that's dedicated about a galactic conflict, like something akin
Star Wars
to
Galactic Battlegrounds.
No, something that's not fucking force focused.
You're moving the goalposts.
I'm not. I'm just saying. I want more interesting projects that branch out from focusing on a single character or a group of characters, so then that grows beyond that. Give me a 4X game. Give me another simulator like TIE Fighter
game.
Like Empire at War.
Isn't EA working on a Star Wars game with the team that?
Oh, they're doing a Total War Star Wars.
It's supposedly a 4X experience.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris Davis, War is literally in the title.
Yeah.
Isn't that an Alien? Isn't that from the Alien Isolation team?
No, this is from.
I just want a Star War. Damn it.
Yeah. I just want a Star War. That's all I want to see. No,
God damn it! Give me a Star War.
I mean, someone give him $10.
This 4X game is from.
Why is there no war in this Star Wars? Literally every Star Wars is about war.
Yeah, but it always focuses on a very small set of characters. I just want to grow beyond that.
True.
It's true.
Well, sure.
That's
why when they move into the strategy
I don't want
space,
the microvision.
I'm in an attempt to rein it back in for just a second. I'm just going to say that's one of the reasons why I'm really excited for this game is because they seem to be interested in exploring other aspects. Do you remember? I still remember back going to E3 and there was a fucking demo for Star Wars 1313 and it looked like a game that was centered around like a scoundrel going into the demo was mind blowing and you were going down into the bowels of Coruscant and there was this huge battle and it looked more like something like. It looked very kind of like Uncharted-esque at the time, honestly. But, they were starting to kind of like dip their toes into like that kind of stuff with that game. And then that obviously fell apart. So seeing something like Star Wars Outlaws coming to... Yeah, it got canceled. So seeing a project make it to fruition without Jedis at the forefront is exciting. So it's my most anticipated, and coming out soon. End of August 29th, August 30th, something like that. What?
Literally, your moment of last year was when a Han Solo type character pulled out a lightsaber. I'm just saying.
Okay, well, yeah.
He's not wrong.
Yeah,
That's
like-
correct.
I'm just saying. I know y'all love lightsabers. You can't
was
pretend to
fun.
not love lightsabers.
It was okay. First of all, the expectation had been set. It's a game with the word Jedi in the title.
True.
I'm just
Fair.
saying. But you know what's even more impressive? A game with the word Jedi in the title, where the story is all about Jedi, still managed to blow my fucking mind when a character pulled out a lightsaber like that. That's pretty wild.
True.
Okay, I'm so excited. All right, guys, that's it. That's our show. Any honorable mentions, I guess, before we?
Oh,
close
we
it
can't
out?
get into that. There's so
No?
many. We can't get into that.
Did we
I'm
talk?
gonna-
Did
I'm
we
gonna
talk
throw
about
in
Hollow Knight
one.
on the show?
And I don't
Nope,
care
someone
if you
mute him.
cut it out or not. The PC port of Resident Evil 3. Hype for that shit. Holy God. I need that in my life.
It's so
right
on
now.
brand. It's so on brand.
It is. It is.
So on brand. What?
Boo
Okay.
this man.
Boo this man, guys.
Yeah, we follow the rules. 3 games each, Chris Davis.
He said
fuck up.
honorable mention. I took a shot.
Fuck off, Brad. You did not follow the rules by any stretch of the
Wait,
imagination,
and
guys.
you did 4 games, Brad. You did 4 games. Fuck off.
That's the
That
joke.
was
That's
the-
the joke.
that was the
It's
joke.
the war between Dragon Age, Avowed, and Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga. It's a trio
Superstar
of
Saga.
RPGs. Brothership.
Brothership. Yeah.
Brothership.
God, what a bad name.
I think
It's a
it's
good
pretty
name.
clever.
That's not a good
Clever
name.
name, actually. Guys, thanks for listening to the show. We'll be back next week. 4playernetwork.com is the website. If you're interested in joining the community, hanging out, talking about video games, discord.gg/4player is the place to be. Real quick note for the people in this call recording this with me right now. Don't stop your recording when I'm done with this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was about to.
All right. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next week with more video games to talk about. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. So don't stop your recording because I don't know what happened, but my recording stopped randomly in the middle of it, and I had to restart
This has
it.
never happened to me, Nick. This is ridiculous
I
and
know.
preposterous, and I hate you.
So I need to do a quick roll call again so I can sync it at the end. And Chris Davis, I'll need you to rip the audio from the entire second segment.
I can do all of that.
Okay. So roll call starts now. Brad,
Hello.
Nolan,
Hello, this is Nolan for my third roll call of the night.
You're supposed to go up. Do your
Chris Davis.
This is Chris with roll call number 3.
You're supposed to say hello.
Go.
Whatever.
Ray.
God damn it.
Someone just say Egon,
Egon.
for God's sakes. Thank you. All right. Now you can stop. Fuck a duck.
Pass.
Nah.
Yeah, they have corkscrew penises. I got fucked by Audacity. Well, don't everybody get all excited at once. Huh? What?
It's late. We've been talking for a long time. What do you want from me?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
So no one said, lots of games. Well, what was a big omission? Anything crazy?
I don't think we officially mentioned Silk Song on the podcast.
Yeah. You're right. This should have been top 3 most anticipated, brought to you by Silk Song.
I didn't mention Assassin's Creed Shadows once, but that's probably pretty up. That's probably pretty high up there for me.
Yeah.
We would have just harassed you relentlessly.
I know you would have.
Anytime you bring up Assassin's Creed.
I wasn't going to put Star Wars Outlaws and Assassin's Creed Shadows in the same fucking anticipation list. That'd be fucking insane.
We just would start throwing insults like, how dare you like this thing? No one likes this thing and you're not allowed to like it. We hate it. How dare you? You should feel so much shame. Shame. Walk them through the streets. Shake the bell. Shame. He likes Assassin's Creed. Who likes Assassin's Creed?
No one mentioned Metaphor.
Nobody mentioned.
I mean,
Metaphor.
you're trying to get rid of it for 50 cents. I mean, do we really care about Metaphor?
Hey, my strategy fell through. I didn't know what the rules were, so Too bad. I'm keeping it.
You're not out of the running for
I'm-
last place. Not last place.
I was gonna say, like,
you're probably,
I am
you're
in
probably
the running
not
for
gonna
last
win.
place.
You're probably not gonna win. But no one's saying you're gonna get last place or anything. I mean, you got something to fight for.
The numbers say otherwise, but thank you, Brad.
You got what the numbers mean. Dick. Do you know why my projected is so low? Is it because I have games that aren't going to score well? You want to know why? It's because games, the projected points are always way lower than they should be. Like for everything. If you're an indie game, it's basically always going to say like 3 to 5 points projected. And that's just never the case. It's just never the case. And then if you're like AAA, sometimes it'll give you way more, but like even the biggest games, like what was it, like Tears of the Kingdom last year, the projected points were still like 19 points, right? And it was never going to score an 89, right? That's the thing. The projected points are always lower. So if you have a bunch of games that have not come out, it's just never going to be very high.
Can I just say that I'm not liking the fact that Ed is so quiet and yet he keeps sneaking away with fancy critic stuff. Like,
what is he sneaking away with? What are you talking about? We do
he's
public
playing
bidding.
the game.
It's public bidding. What did he sneak away with?
Yeah, but if you're not paying attention every Thursday and Saturday like I am.
We are. That's the game. You pay attention. Who's not paying attention on Thursday or Saturday?
Me.
Well, that's
this guy.
Maybe you just play it bad.
Yeah, bad enough to get last place. Yeah.
Those are the days you pay attention. That's all you really have to do is pay attention. What were you going to snap up from him? What were you going to not let him have? What's going on?
I don't know. I just like I just learned of these things and I'm like, oh damn, maybe I should have thought of that.
Wait. You just found out about Ed's pickups?
Yeah.
We literally brought them up on the podcast. Or before, when we were conversating. In tonight's conversation.
No, I was talking like tonight is what I mean. Not like just now.
Oh, I see what you're saying. You found out about him earlier today.
Like 3 hours ago.
That is weird though. I mean, I'm assuming earlier in the year when you felt like you were more in the running, you were probably paying attention more. And at this point, you have one slot left and you feel like you're in trouble.
Well, I've got two slots left.
2 slots. I'm saying you got to
make
pay
them
attention
bangers, Chris
at least
Davis.
on Thursday and Saturday. You at least got to pay attention then.
Two slots and $11. Like, let's go.
Are you saying you didn't bid on Zelda? Or no, you definitely bid on Zelda.
I didn't bid on
Carlos
Zelda because I knew there was no way I was going to win. I had to pick one or the other. I ended up.
You can't
I
do
was
that.
like,
You never know. Like weird shit happens.
No. I had a better chance of winning Brothership than Zelda, and I couldn't do both. So I put all my money towards Brothership, and I still lost.
That's why I forced all those bids at once. I don't even know if y'all noticed that.
You didn't even have to force them, dude. Those were all those bids were still going to happen. Brotherhood, Zelda, they were all going to happen.
They were always going to happen, but not necessarily all at once. That's why I put Dragon Age in the mix to get people going. Well, I don't know what to do, right? But yeah. You got to pay attention. But I will say, most people's rosters are like almost full.
Carlos has a few slots.
Carlos and Nolan have a few slots left, but even Carlos is filling up. Remember he got Zelda.
Nolan still has 4 slots left.
Carlos is scary because he's got 0. 3. Carlos has 0 points lost on his counter picks. So you might not be seeing crazy numbers now, but the fact that he's got 2 zeros for counter picks and Zelda. I know, obviously the Zelda's not going to be like Breath of the Wild scoring Zelda, right? But I mean, it's definitely one that could, score 90 plus, right? It's Zelda. Most Zelda games score 90 plus.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. A Link Between Worlds is 90 plus. I think that remake of Link's Awakening wasn't, but it was still high 80s. And that was a remake. God, what if it does suck? What if it's like a Princess Peach tragedy?
That would be a tragedy. I think you just answered your own question.
That would be a tragedy.
All right.
What do
I
y'all think?
I officially used my super drop. So did Ed
Yep.
and Chris Davis.
What did Ed super drop?
He super dropped Rise of the Ronin.
Oh. Okay.
Took back those points.
What was Rise of the Ronin at when he super dropped
7.
it?
He lost 7 points.
It was a 77?
Yeah. So
Oh, he
He
drafted Rise of the Ronin. He counterpicked it.
he counterpicked Rise of the Ronin.
Wait. That can't be right.
Hold on.
No,
Let me pull it up. Let me pull it up.
No, you're wrong. Yeah, this is Rise of the Ronin he drafted. If you counterpicked counterpicking Rise of the Ronin is a good counterpick.
Wait, so why did he
Who
You're
counterpicked
right.
Rise of the Ronin?
Wait a second. Wait a second.
I think his Rise of the Ronin was counterpicked. Did you remove the right thing from his list?
He told me to drop Rise of the Ronin. Hold on a second.
He drafted Rise of the Ronin.
Okay, so somebody counterpicked it. Who counterpicked Rise of the Ronin?
I don't think it was
Crispy,
okay.
maybe?
Nobody counterpicked it.
It's not on anyone's counter.
Oh, he dropped it. But he had no more free drops. And that had a score, so he had to use a super drop to get rid of it.
Yeah, but
he's just trying to free up space for a better score.
He also lost 11 points on Grand Blue Fantasy. Why didn't he?
I know, right? But see, that's why we implemented the -7 thing, right? Because we wanted there to actually be a tough choice. Otherwise, everyone was just gonna drop a counter pick. So he's losing. He's weighing the 4-point difference between the 77 and the 81, basically, and saying I could probably do better. I could probably draft a game that makes that spread even bigger than the 4 points if I drafted.
Gotcha.
Or if I drafted
a panic attack. I'm sitting here like, Jesus Christ, why did he draft? Should I have let him do that? Oh,
I think he was dropping Flight Simulator. Can you remove that from his list?
No
please?
way. There's no way he would drop that.
Well,
okay. Of all people who says no way.
That's a high 80s, low 90s.
Chris Davis,
game,
that was
easily.
the
Of all people, Chris Davis.
joke.
I'm only listening to half of what y'all are talking about. I'm actually working on podcast shit.
Oh, okay. Well, good night, y'all. See y'all next time.
I'm taking off too.
Okay.
As am I.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, everybody. Don't forget to send me your shit.
I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, sorry that I did not mean for that. I don't know what the fuck happened.
Welcome to my world.
Super fucking annoying.
You're gonna have fun this week with this.
God, it was so close to just being a 1-segment show that was just one and done and easy.
Hey, Nick.
What's up?
I don't know what happened. I'm listening back to my audio, and there's some like popping in it. I don't know if there's anything I can do about that, and I don't know how to handle that situation.
Send it to me anyway, Chris Davis, just for the safety.
Yeah, no,
maybe just send me both segments, complete audio segment from the stream.
Okay.
It might just be easier to just use that this week.
And I don't know why I've been having so many audio issues the past couple of weeks. Like in and out. Like the other week I had some, and tonight I'm having some. And like I do a test and everything sounds fine. And then when I go to listen back to more than just like, I don't do like a 5-second test either. Generally, when I do my audio test, I try to do like 15, 20 seconds and then play it back and make sure it sounds okay and I'm not peaking and all that stuff. And it sounded fine when I did my audio test earlier. And then now listening back, I'm hearing all these random crinkles and poppings and stuff like that. I'm probably going to spend some time maybe this weekend trying to figure out what's going on and how I can fix it.
Yeah, no worries. But yeah, just send me what you have just in case. But
yeah, for sure. I'll still send it to you.
Cool.
Okay.
We'll get to the bottom of it.
Cute. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Okay, I'm pulling it now.
It might end up being a really easy week. I might just use the audio from the Twitch stream for both.
Yeah.
Say fuck it.
Okay, let me make certain this is named properly.
All right, chat. I'm about to head out. Bye, everybody.
Bye, Nick. Have a good night.
Bye. You as well.
I'm going to have a very good next 5 days because I have the next 5 days off. Burning some vacation time, and 4th of July and the weekend is adding up very well for me. Let me end the Discord call, and then we can say goodnight to Tom. Sound good, Tom? Does that sound good, boy? One second. There we go. Hey, you want to say goodnight, boy? Huh? Want to say goodnight? Yeah, I gotta hide a bunch of mail that you're laying on top of. There we go. Oh, I need a longer cord. Tom? Want to say goodnight? You good boy? Yeah, you're my good boy. Yeah. Okay. Oh, get stretched. Okay. I was annoying him. Okay. Y'all have a pleasant evening. I will see y'all later on. Goodbye. Oh, actually, real quick. I may stream tomorrow, in fact. I may stream the PC port of Resident Evil 1 because I never actually beat the original Resident Evil 1. So, not the remake, but like the original PlayStation version. So, anyway, might do that. Goodbye.